Hello, everybody. Welcome in to the NBA Front Office Show, live NBA draft show. It is draft day. Finally, the day we've been waiting for. Oh, boy, this is going to be all kinds of fun. I'm Trevor Lane. You can find me on Twitter at Trevor_Lane, joined by Keith Smith, as always, at Keith Smith NBA, and special guest today, Sean Davis, to help us break down the draft. Keith, how fired up are you?
Oh, I am fired up, man. We got Paolo Banchero in his purple suit. Adam Silver's opening the festivities right now on the TV. So, guys, if you're watching on ESPN, ABC, wherever, but thanks for watching with us. We appreciate y'all joining us here. We're super excited to get into everything. We're going to take questions throughout the night, all sorts of fun. We're going to have a great time with this draft. Should be a good draft, and let's go, man. Let's go.
Do this.
Let's go.
This is going to be a ton of fun. And just so everybody is aware, what we're going to do, I've taken some of the prime news breakers and I've compiled them together into a Twitter list. And so we're going to have them up on screen just like this, so we can kind of follow along as the draft is going along and as news is breaking, as we're getting into trades and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I quadrupled it just to make sure we don't miss anything. But this is going to be a good time. So we'll keep up with the draft this way as we go through, since we don't have the live stream of the actual draft going through. And let's face it, this is the way we keep up with the draft more than just by watching what's on TV. Anyway, Sean, looks like maybe a shake up the top. Paolo going number 1. It appears that is the direction this is suddenly heading. Jabari Smith. Do you think this is a last-minute swerve here by the Orlando Magic? Like, was this planned the whole time, or did they really just wait until the last minute and then say, no, we're going to go Banchero?
I have a hard time believing that they just, waited till the last minute, said, you know what, we changed our mind. Who cares about 3 months of draft work, 3 months plus of draft work, and we've had the number 1 pick the whole time. I think it's just they planned this out, and good for them. I think Paolo's the best player in the draft, so good on them. I think they make the right play here.
Keith, you're in Orlando. If it is Paolo, do you like that selection?
I do. He's the number 1 player on my personal board. I come to this very late. I don't present myself as a draft expert by any means, but he's my number 1 guy. I think combination of offensive skills. I don't think he's going to be a terrible defender by any means at the NBA. I don't think he's going to be a lockdown guy or anything like that. But I think he's just going to be really tough in that position. I think he's a really good passer. I think he's got a pretty good jump shot that'll develop. And I think he's really going to fit in quite well with exactly what Orlando needs, assuming they're actually keeping the pick. Let's see. Maybe they're going to pull a fast one on everybody.
I'm glad you brought up his passing ability, because that gets very underlooked and underrated. He is a very underrated passer, and that'll be a big skill for him.
Yeah, big time. And that's something that Orlando team can use. They've got good guards there in Orlando, but most of them are more score first than they are pass first guards. I think Suggs maybe is more playmaker than some of the others, but I think Banchero's a guy you can run offense through him. You can run offense through Wendell Carter Jr. Obviously, the team I'm closest to, the Celtics, just made the finals using their bigs as offensive facilitators quite a bit in their offense, whether it be Horford or Williams or the other Williams. So I think that's where Orlando is probably headed to at least some extent. Franz Wagner is an underrated passer too at the 3. He's a pretty good player as well. Hey, I gotta ask, Sean, what happened to the S, man? Where's the other S at the end of your
I forget. It's been a long story because I made the account like 3 years ago. But I think somebody has Sean_Davis. So I just said, screw it, I'm going to take off the S.
Trevor, I appreciate you bringing Sean on, so I don't have the biggest baby face on the show. It's nice. I don't think Sean's draft eligible yet.
I'm draft eligible.
He's getting there. We did get a super chat already. Alberto Flores said, love the show. Do what you all do best. Thank you.
We
Alberto.
appreciate
very,
you.
Very much appreciate that. Very much appreciate that.
You guys, the support we've had on the show, unreal. We cracked over 18,000 subscribers this week. So 18 for 18 banners for our one of our 2 franchises soon. Hopefully,
and we really just started this channel. It was right around this time of year last year. was a year ago. So that's
even slightly less than a year ago, because remember we were still off from the
that's right
time. So yeah,
that's right. All right, here's a question. We should have just brought on Eric Pincus for this. You guys know what I'm talking about here.
I see it.
Bro, he just has it saved. He has these hard cap questions saved.
He was talking about, he's got a stream deck. He was talking about making that response a hotkey on it. And I said, so yeah, that's probably a good idea. I said, does sign and trade always
Trevor,
trigger a hard
hold
cap?
on. Let's come back. Play your breaking news drop.
Ooh. I don't even see it yet, so let's get to it.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
Paulo Banchero, number one overall pick, is confirmed. Shams Charania, Chris Haynes, multiple people.
That's the right move.
Now. So there it is. First player off the board. Guys, we will spoil the picks. So if you're watching on TV, we're going to spoil them as they come in from the reporters. So but just so you all know.
That's because
we're still sticking with the planning too.
If we're going to stay up to date on trades and everything, there's no other option for that. So, by the way, I just have the big four on here. I have Chris Haynes, Woj. I've got Mark Stein, and of course, Shams. So if there's stuff coming out from some other newsbreakers, we may kind of just filter that in through as we discuss, as we talk. But
all right, let's go back to the question.
Sign and trade always trigger a hard cap, or is there sometimes an exception? I know it's your favorite topic, Trevor. Thanks. So sign and trade triggers a hard cap for the team receiving the player. That's how that's going to work for the team that's receiving the player. That's the only. So if you are the team that's sending out the player, then you don't have to worry about the hard cap. But again, this goes back to years ago. Players were signing contracts that had the raises that the incumbent teams could offer, and then demanding trades. And so we had a ton of sign and trades. And as players were forcing their way to other teams, they were having their cake and eating it too, getting the higher percentage raises and getting the team that they wanted to via sign and trade. NBA said, let's try and crack down on that. So they made it more difficult to complete a sign and trade.
All right. We got the next pick coming in. We don't need to play the.
No, we're not going to play it every time.
Drop every single time. But
this is surprising.
Oklahoma City Thunder are selecting Jabari Smith Jr. with a number 2 pick. That's for Chris Haynes. He was the first one on this one.
So let's talk about that, because we talked a little bit about Paulo going to, I mean, basically everything got flipped, right? From what the consensus was going in was that it was going to be Jabari 1, and then you were going to have Chet number 2, and then Paulo number 3. They all switched places. So Jabari going to OKC. What are your thoughts on that? Do you like the fit there?
Yeah, I do. I might have liked Chet a little bit better. Oh, wait a minute now. Now Woj is saying Chet Holmgren remains the front runner for Oklahoma City. Ooh,
drama.
Oh, Chris Haynes deleted his tweet.
Oh boy.
Been ahead of things a little bit.
The first fake out of the night. I should have had a fake out drop.
Yeah. Yeah. We could go crazy with fake out drops too. Yeah, I would have gone Chet, and I hope they do go Chet for OKC, because I think that is a bigger need. He is a 4-5. I think ultimately he will be a 5 in the NBA. So I think he will be the BA5. They don't have a player in place at that position, much like they do at some other spots where they're pretty well covered. So yeah, I think Chet Holmgren's the guy you got to go.
I agree. I like his fit pretty much anywhere, but I think that he is the better fit for them long-term moving forward. You know that they love players with length too. Hard to argue against what he brings. He's got that 7'6" wingspan. But let's go back to this Banchero thing, because I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how we went for like weeks now saying it's Jabari Smith, it's Jabari Smith, it's Jabari Smith, to now suddenly it's Paulo. Like, was this just subterfuge on the part of the Orlando Magic? Like, how did they keep this so quiet? How did they get away with this?
Yeah, I mean, Orlando is pretty quiet. They work in relative silence. We don't see them do a lot of talking, negotiating through the media on other things, they generally kind of stick with their plan and just kind of do their thing. They're one of the more quiet organizations around, so this does not surprise me at all that they went this route. We're seeing some reporting now that there were late conversations and things, and with that, the Magic were very
wow.
they were very and it looks like it is going to be Chet Holmgren.
Chet Holmgren.
We're seeing Shams confirm that.
Mhm.
It is just back to the Banchero thing though. It is very they didn't really answer if he was there or not, and those kind of things. So yeah, it's I think they just did their work and didn't get involved in all the other stuff.
It especially just to in this day and age to pull that off is just impressive. It's just impressive. I mean, that's well done by Orlando. Jay Singh said, "I'm excited for the Lakers offseason. Love you guys. # Lakers Nation." Thank you. Keith is excited too for the Lakers season. Keith was excited for this past Lakers season though, but for all the wrong reasons.
I mean, come on now. Come on now. I think I spent more time trying to pick you up over the course of this season than anything else. And here you are throwing strays my way. I see how it is. Hey, I want to go back though. I got a little quiz for you. I want to see. This is a Padawan quiz in the thing through. Obi-Wan just wrapped up. No spoilers.
I did not finish that yet. I'm still on like episode 3.
Here. Oh, hold on. Tom Lou asked, "What's the ideal finals matchup for you, Keith and Trevor?" Obviously, it's Celtics Lakers.
It's our two teams. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on now.
That's an easy one.
Easy one.
All right. I'm gonna quiz you. So you're perfectly on it that you get hard capped if you acquire a player via sign and trade. Mm-hmm. What's the other two ways?
You sign somebody to the biannual exception or the full mid-level exception.
Yeah, or it close. It's you use a portion of the non-taxpayer mid-level exception.
That's beyond
the taxpayer.
The taxpayer.
Close enough. I'll give you enough of a credit for a passing grade there.
Thank you, Professor.
There you go, Trevor.
Talk about Chet. We'll get back into that now, though. Sean, what's your thought? I want to hear the draft guy.
No, Chet going 2 is the right move for Oklahoma City. I think Chet has the higher upside, while Jabari day 1 honestly might be better than Chet, in my opinion, his catch and shoot ability. But Jabari he has to be able to create for himself off the dribble outside of being able to just catch and shoot. But Chet's going to make an impact. They've really missed some rim protection as well since Steven Adams and those guys left. And I think Chet will impact the floor on both ends. And pairing him with Josh Giddey and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I love this pick for the Thunder. Just got to see if they trade back up.
Yeah, I think they're. Well, I know they have been working very hard, pushing to try to get back up into the top 10, using 12 and something. There's been a 12 and Lou Dort rumor and those kind of things that have been floating around out there to try to get them into the top 10. So we'll see, where that lands, ultimately in the end.
Do you think we're going to see a lot of trades tonight in terms of draft picks?
Yes,
I
do.
Like more than a typical draft, we're going to see a lot of teams trying to make these moves.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to get quite a few. Let me see how many we have.
Jabari looks sick right now. Oh man,
he doesn't look happy.
Yeah,
he does not look happy.
It's the downside of this.
Did he work out for Houston?
I don't think so. I think he only did the top 2.
Yeah,
he came out in an interview and said, I feel like I'm a lock to go in the top 2. So
he wanted to go to OKC.
Yeah. All right, so Trevor, there were 16 draft related trades last year. What do we think? Over or under that this year? And that includes little things like buying a second round pick and
Okay, so I'm gonna say over because I think there's enough incentive. I'm gonna be optimistic too here because I want that kind of fun on draft night. So I'm gonna say over. I think there's reason for that. Reason for teams to make moves, like you said. You got Orlando trying to move back up and all that. Let's get the super chat real quick here. Sean, where are you from? Your accent?
Ohio, but I didn't know Ohioans had accents. But
Yeah, isn't that the place they try to teach you to replicate since there isn't an accent?
teach us to replicate? That's the new one. Keep.
No, not you. Like, like that's one of the things in like broadcasting. Like they'll be like, try to replicate that Midwest.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's no accent attached to it.
I have never heard that before.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Look at that teaching. 21 trades in 2020.
Okay,
and
I think we can get there.
I think we get over
2019.
Yeah. I think we'll go over.
I'm going to say 20. I'm going to set the over under at 20.
I like it.
Jabari
Orlando did not have a formal workout meeting with Paolo Banchero.
And Woj is tweeting Jabari Smith is on top of Houston's board.
You would
All right,
think.
so I'm only going to throw this out there just because it's happened before. Do we think there is a chance that this could be a swap, something coming in here, something going to Orlando where Banchero ends up in Houston and Smith goes to Orlando.
Are you thinking like a Vince Carter situation here?
Mm-hmm. Or Chris Webber, Penny Hardaway?
Sure, Chris Webber, Penny Hardaway.
Did it before?
I wonder. It could be. And then I wonder who would get what. That could be interesting. That could be why all three kind of switch places here. Well, two switch places here. That's interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to, but
no, but I hadn't thought of that. And that's an interesting thought of where that could go. How do teams purchase draft picks? Is it through trade exceptions? Well, draft picks don't have a salary assigned to them, so you don't have to use a trade exception in order to bring on that salary.
Yep, it's just straight cash.
Yep,
homie, as Randy Moss would say.
Do we agree that the draft really starts at pick 4 with the Kings and what they do?
Well, I think as far as I think we all knew who the top 3 were going to be. Yeah, I think. For sure. I'm with you on that.
We've got another super chat here. Said late night greetings from Poland. Welcome in from.
Hey,
Poland.
What time is it in Poland?
2 a.m. He says. He says
wow.
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Said thanks for a great show. Cheering for the 4th Polish guy in the NBA. Oh, there we go. Curious to see what my beloved Lakers will do with their 35th pick. Keith, what did you think about the trade for 35 for the Lakers? I got Sean's reaction already.
I think it's great. It's just cash, right? So as long as you're good to trade cash, go do it. Trade away that cash and go get yourself a pick, and that's high enough where you're getting a real player. I don't mean to denigrate guys later in the draft, but like you're not drafting a 2-way player or somebody who might like that's going to be a real player. So I think that's pretty big for them.
So they did have to give up a future second. It's a 2028 second. And Eric Pink has speculated that's probably just the better of their second.
It's been reported. The Magic actually reported it. It is the better of the.
It is the better. Okay.
Yep. Which was weird. Normally teams don't put that much detail out there. So I very much appreciate that they did, but I think they're trying to cover a little right and say, hey, this is why we did this. Because there were some Magic fans that are like, would you stop selling second round picks?
They are getting one back too, just
correct
down the road. So it'll be interesting to see who they ultimately land with that particular pick. Obviously, you've got Jabari Smith right there on the phone, probably with the Houston Rockets. Imagine that they are telling him, we are taking you in the draft here. Oh boy, we've got a prospective trade here coming in from a super chat. 3-team deal. Brooklyn gets Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, and Lakers, Kyrie Irving, Patty Mills. Then Hornets will get 2 first-round picks and Russell Westbrook.
No.
So Brooklyn gets Rozier, Hayward. Lakers get Kyrie Irving, Patty Mills. Hornets get 2 firsts and Russell Westbrook. That's the full deal there. I think a lot of it, what changes the way that all this Kyrie stuff, and we could talk about that for a second. What changes the whole geometry of this is, what do you do with Kevin Durant? If you're Brooklyn and you find out KD wants out and he's going to try to leave, what you want in return for a trade featuring Kyrie is different than if you think Kevin Durant is staying.
Yep.
So that is a major factor here, and that goes a long way towards our own analysis of what actually is a fair trade here, because what they're looking for changes drastically whether or not Kevin Durant is still a Brooklyn Net.
Man, Jabari Smith looks heated.
Yeah, he does. Jabari Smith is going to have something for Chet Holmgren and
for sure.
Paulo Banchero in their first matchups. Summer
All
League
right.
too, right? Opening night. Am I right on that?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Let's check.
What do you think about that?
2 weeks from today, by the way.
Let's go.
Opening
Summer
night. Magic
League.
versus Rockets.
Oh
So
boy.
Jabari Smith, Paulo Banchero.
Oh boy.
That's it. Whoever's better too, that's it. That decides the whole thing for life in Vegas.
That's it. Everything
That's
is
it.
on. That's why
It's
we
all on the line.
That is when GOAT Nicolas Skidisvili first showed off the height of his powers and then dominated the NBA for the next 15 years.
True.
So,
All right, let's get into it for real. Jabari Smith to the Rockets. I like this for Houston. I would have liked Banchero for them too, but I think this is good. I think he slots in right next to Alperen Şengün, and they go from there. Well, Shams reporting Keegan Murray to the Kings.
They didn't mess it up. Good for them.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a second. But yeah, I think this is I like this one. Jabari Smith to the Rockets. I think the Rockets still made out well here, right? They I think would have liked to have Banchero, but Smith's going to be very good too. I like these top 5 guys.
Wow. I honestly expected the Kings to botch the pick and take AJ Griffin because of the Kings.
So what do you like about that pick then, Sean?
Keegan's awesome for starters. I think he's 5th on my personal big board. You're talking about a guy that is an elite 3-point shooter off the dribble and spot up, really athletic finisher that has some potential defensively. He's just weird. Like typically with elite shooters, 3-point shooters, they have like some mid-range game, but it's the opposite with Keegan Murray. Like his mid-range touch is so inconsistent. But I think he's right. Like if the top 4, like Chet, Paulo, Jabari, Jaden Ivey are the first tier, Keegan's the head of that second tier. I think Keegan's going to be a great player.
So you said he's 5th on your list. Then who should they have taken ahead of Keegan?
No. He's 5th, but I think this was the right pick. Jaden's 4th, but I don't like the Jaden Ivey to the Kings. So,
and Woj is saying the Kings have no plan to trade the pick, and they are going to keep him. What do we think about that fit, Keith?
I love it.
This fits in well with Sacramento's future, better than some of the other options out there.
I think him working off of actions that are initiated by Fox and Sabonis is going to be really good for him. He's a good shooter. He's shown limited in the way Iowa played a little bit, but shown a good ability to cut. And Sabonis is probably one of the best big man passers, non-Jokic division of picking out cutters. He does a really nice job with that. So I think this really gives them good balance. I think if the Kings are serious about they're trying to push forward quicker or sooner rather than later, I think he fits that for them. I think this is a guy who could come right in, play right away with this. I think he also gives them the ability to play, some small ball lineups as well. Jake Fisher, I'm glad you added him. Good call, Trevor. Exploring opportunities, trade down from 5. A lot of interest in Jaden Ivey still on the board. So that was
just take him.
I kind of would like to see Detroit just take him. Trevor, we have a chat, a super chat, I think they're called.
Before we get to super chat, they must really like Shaedon Sharpe and think he might be a little lower. I know they've been interested in him or Benedict Mathurin, because otherwise, just take Jaden Ivey here at 5, for Christ's sakes.
And that may be what they ultimately end up doing. This doesn't mean they're necessarily going to trade this pick, but we'll see what you can get, because there's some teams that are in love with him. And if you can get a haul here and move down a few spots and still get the guy that you want, I mean, Keith, you know all about that, right? The Celtics moved back a couple of spots, still got Tatum and picked up future assets. Yeah, it still stings.
They did all right for themselves in that deal for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you can do that, if you can move past, I'm not deep in enemy territory. This is the front office show.
That's
I'm
right.
not deep in
We're all welcome here.
This is a 30 team show.
There we
go. Heck, it's like a 79 million team show. There's some overseas teams in there as well. Poland in the house, right? Philippines,
right.
I saw earlier.
That's right.
If you can move back and still get the guy you like, yeah, by all means, do it. Right. And what would make me laugh is they move off a 5 and move back a couple picks later. That opens up even more cap space, which is just kind of comical at this point for the Pistons. But yeah, it's why not? If you can get your guy. But
it's like when he's saying it's Jaden Ivey, but it's like when the Seahawks moved back in the draft and still got Bo Callahan, cleared up their salary cap situation, even if they had to give up David GD Putney. So
enjoy your pancakes.
So Portland's taking Jaden Ivey. Let's get to the super chat. Angie Bernard said, "Can you get multiple players with one trade exception?"
You can, yeah. You can split. You cannot combine trade exceptions. You couldn't take like two $10 million trade exceptions and go get a $20 million player, but you can use a $10 million trade exception, split it, and get two $5 million players. That's definitely an option. Teams do that all the time.
Very true. We do
Luxembourg. Raul Ferrara. That's a new one. Hello from Antarctica. That I don't believe.
What?
I don't believe Antarctica, but I do believe Luxembourg. That's cool.
Luxembourg. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Dardar Banks said, "Love the show, guys. Keep up the good work. Can you trade a pick the same year that you bought it, or even trade bought picks?"
Yep.
So if you
can,
yeah, you could. I mean, the Lakers could turn around and trade 35 if they wanted to.
Yep.
Please.
Which actually it happened last year when the Lakers traded 22 to the Wizards. The Wizards turned around and traded back with 22. So yes, you can definitely do that.
Mm-hmm. All right, now people are just throwing out countries that I don't think anybody's here from Iran. Come on now. Iran. Maybe. I mean, maybe.
It's possible.
What was that guy's name? Ahmed Haddadi. Right? Played for
go.
a couple of years in the league from Iran. Hello from the Bay Area. Thanks for checking.
2:30 a.m. in the Netherlands.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I love it. Draft night, bringing us together.
That's
all right, we have a chance to we could do some questions and stuff because it's I think we're all caught up on picks. So Jaden Ivey, Woj saying Jaden Ivey to the I butchered your name, Raul Ferrara. Oh, Ferreira. Sorry, I apologize. That's my fault. Jaden Ivey, what do you think? Jaden Ivey to the Pistons.
I like it. I think that, the Pistons, they need that kind of explosiveness, that kind of upside. And so I think that's a good fit there for them. I think especially next to Cade Cunningham, this makes some sense. But for the Pistons, a lot of this is going to depend on what they do with all that cap space they've got, right? Because that's what's going to change. We always talk about landing spot mattering for a player, right? What kind of pieces can you add to this team now from here? You get Ivy, you've already got Cade Cunningham. Now let's see what else they can do with all of this cap room that they've created in their trade, sending away Jeremy Grant to the Portland Trailblazers. Can they do something with that and then add in some other pieces that'll give Ivy a chance to really shine, and some pieces around him that can really support him?
Let's come back to the cap space piece in a minute. Sean, what do you think? Jaden Ivey of the Pistons.
Easily the best guard in this draft class, and pairing him with Cade as this official. Shams Charania makes it official. Best guard in this draft class by a mile. Just a freak athlete, and putting him on an NBA court where the spacing is so much better than the college game. Dude's gonna he's gonna be so good. Pairing him next to Cade. Rumors about them getting DeAndre Ayton. They have Sadiq Bey already, who I really like. Detroit, they're building something solid over there. I still think they're a couple years away, but they're building something solid over there.
Yeah, so let's go back to the Detroit cap space conversation for a second here while we're good and caught up on picks. There was all the discussion last night. Trevor and I talked about it on the bonus video yesterday after the Jeremy Grant trade. But where is this going, right? Are they going to use it on DeAndre Ayton, Miles Bridges? Is that where it's going to go? There's a lot of reporting out there that they're going to chase DeAndre Ayton from really good reporters. So I'm going to trust in that for now. But if for some reason that doesn't come to be, I don't know that they then pivot to, all right, let's try to go get Miles Bridges. I think then your play is, let's do a couple 1 year overpays. If we need to pay a couple guys 14 million that should have got 10, that's fine, right? The JJ Redick approach, see if they can lift you up. Pistons, I don't think they're that far off from being like next year's Cavs, where they could make that big jump up in the standings and be a competitive team. I think they've got the pieces. Now, maybe I'm biased because they played the heck out of the Celtics this year, but I do think it's close.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they ultimately do with all of this. I like the idea of the 1 year deals. I still was kind of underwhelmed by what they got for Jeremy Grant, particularly given that, we had heard that they wanted 2 first-round picks at the trade deadline to then turn around and take clearly a lot less than that here. But I keep coming back to they must have plans for this cap space. Otherwise, why do this now when there had to be something better out there? That cap room had to be very important for them. That makes me think that something else is indeed coming here. Do you think they could get either one of the Hornets or the Suns to actually blink on Bridges or Ayton?
Yeah, Ayton for sure. I think the Suns are done. We got another pick coming in, Sharania. Well, they're now like a full pick ahead because Jaden Ivey is just gone. Benedict Mathurin to the Indiana Pacers.
Wow.
So he was a guy who I know people who are deep into this really liked him. Sean, what do you think?
I mean, I really like Benedict too. Honestly, I was just thinking about that. Maybe Dyson Daniels. I thought they might have taken him there. But Benedict, I like the fit, being a secondary scorer, really a 3-level scorer that could shoot the 3 well, great floater, who could really actually turn into a good defender, I think. He just has that college defender trait of, I'm going to gamble on every single play. It gets really annoying. And he dies on screens a little too much for my liking as well. But I think he turned into a really good player, pairing him with Tyrese Halliburton, Chris Duarte, see what they do with Miles Turner this offseason. But again, Indiana, they're looking like to be another team in the East that could be a fringe playoff team next year as well.
I mean, everybody's looking for wings that can shoot and defend. Well, he's not the most consistent defender. At least he's got the ability to do it. And then you've got the shooting. I mean, I can't argue with this pick too much, even if it is a little bit of a surprise. But you're just adding weapons for Halliburton out there and creating that floor spacing that you're going to need. And then if he can be a two-way player and ramp up on the defensive side of the ball, all the better. I don't think this is a bad choice for Indiana at all.
Cad, one more thing really quickly.
Sure, yeah, go ahead, man.
He's also just a freak athlete. And the fact that he shot 36%, some people might think, hey, he's just going to be an average shooter. With college shooters, I think you have to value more of their mechanics and how their shooting form looks than the shooting percentage. Like, give you guys for the chat an example. AJ Griffin shot a better percentage than Benedict Mathurin from 3. But when I graded the players, Benedict got a higher grade from 3 just because his form and how his mechanics are set up. I think it'll translate better. So I think you have to look at that more.
I think, too, his shooting, his NBA shooting might be more comparable to his freshman year shooting at Arizona, where he shot a higher percentage. I don't know how much off the dribble creation he's going to do in the NBA. His handle is very loose. He's got to get that tightened up. Otherwise, he's going to have a lot of trouble. You can see he has the desire, though, and this is a kid who does improve. Defensively, the biggest thing is he's got all the tools. He's got the size. He's got the physical profile. He's just very I don't want to say he's lazy, but he just like falls asleep. There's times when he's just kind of, like he's especially off ball, like he's a kid who's going to get back cut a lot early on. But Rick Carlisle, he won't play if that's going to be where it goes for him. He'll get him he'll get those bad habits out of his game very quickly.
And that's what an NBA program can do, right? I mean, you'll get to these systems, particularly Rick Carlisle, that won't put up with certain habits, and so those will be removed from that player's game pretty quickly. Otherwise, you won't see them play. So that's one of the benefits of once you get these guys into an NBA system, they do start to kind of round things out and come around in these certain areas. While we're kind of somewhat between picks here,
Sure.
Jay says, if KD gets traded, where do y'all think he ends up? Is that a realistic spot that has the assets? Greetings from Bosnia. Keith, I mean, 4 years left on Kevin Durant's deal. This may be the largest trade return we've ever seen.
Oh, hold on. Before we get to that, Jake Fisher says the Knicks are still in pursuit of acquiring Jaden Ivey.
Even after Detroit selected him.
Yeah.
Speaking of trades, do you guys think Portland keeps their pick here?
All right, we'll answer the KD question. I promise. We'll come right back to I think Portland may make the pick. Whether the player they select actually stays with them, I don't know. That I'm less sure of.
They could be making the pick for someone else.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, KD. I mean, I promise I'm not being snarky and trying to be funny here, but 29 teams are going to make some form of pick, right? I mean, it's just the reality. It's he is he's KD. He might have won the MVP if he had stayed healthy last year. He was having an unbelievable season. He's still kind of basically just as good as he's always been. So I mean, people are going to be all over it. And the return, it might be one of those kind of all-time returns. And if you're the Nets, if that's the way it goes, you need to do that because you need to rebuild your asset base because you have nothing left draft pick wise. They're right back to where they were after the Celtics trade. If this is how this all plays out, I'll use this opportunity now to say, I think it ends with those two guys staying in Brooklyn. In the end, I think Kyrie will get, they'll come, he'll come off his ask a little bit. The Nets will come up a little, and they'll make it work out. Now it might only have another year or two long shelf life, but that's where I tend to believe this will go. Yeah,
I mean, I still think that's the most likely thing, but it's just we keep getting the reports that suggest they're pushing further and further away. Shams saying things today about them. They're actively exploring things and all of that, but it feels like you're getting one side of the story too. And it's the side that has incentive to put this kind of stuff out there. And I'm talking about the Kyrie side, maybe the KD side, in order to put that extra pressure on the Brooklyn Nets. And that could still very well be what this is all about. It's just about putting that pressure on the Nets to get Kyrie, whatever it is exactly in the contract, whether it's a year, whether it's guarantees, whether it's a certain dollar amount, whatever that is, we don't know. He's trying to get something out of this, and this could all just be about getting to that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, our guy Ricky Reyes is dropping a F Boston, but still love you. I appreciate that, but spell my name right at least. Come on, now. You're with Lob and Insel. You should at least spell my name right.
It's not that hard, guys.
Oh, what do you think about this one here? Super Chat said, might sound crazy, but KD to the Thunder. They have assets to make the trade and have talent to grow around him.
I don't think so.
It would have to be a situation like when the Celtics got Kevin Garnett, and first he was saying no, and then they went out and got Ray Allen, and he went okay.
Yeah,
like it would have to be something like that where the Thunder said no, KD, it's not just you. We're going to get this guy and this guy too with all these other assets that I would think it would have to be something like that, which makes it.
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, if that's how it went down, I think that would be great. I think it'd be really cool. I mean, especially if you could keep like SGA and I mean, I saw no better guy to learn from than Kevin Durant for Jabari Smith, right? Or I'm sorry, they have Chet Holmgren now. Never mind. I got all screwed up.
That's messed everybody up.
Yeah, that's it. Now I'm off. I'll be on the radio tomorrow morning saying the wrong guy in the wrong place. But I would love that. I just don't think that's gonna happen. People are saying, what did Perk say? That's stay here with us and you can avoid whatever it is Perk said. Why he's on a draft telecast, that part.
Why is Stephen A on a draft telecast? Yeah. I've been thinking that the whole time as well.
Yep.
Because you need people who can yell loudly, right? It's a crowded room. You need a voice that can yell over the top of everybody.
Let's have a shouting match. We'll win.
Yeah, right. That's it. Yeah, we'll push the heck out of our viewership. We'll just start lobbing insults each other's way and just yelling over each other while Trevor just sits there quietly.
just gonna hit the mute button and
Wow.
no, it would be like in Parks and Rec when they had the wine and cheese meetings and Ron just puts on his headphones and listens to Willie Nelson. That's what I would just pump in some soft, peaceful music, and I would chill and I would enjoy the draft and let you guys kind of battle it out.
I did not see that coming.
Jaden Sharpe to the Portland Trailblazers.
Okay.
Shams, I think, was first on it. We
like
try to
it.
give proper credit. This time of year, guys, if we miss one, who was first, it's going to happen.
Shams got it by 17 seconds.
All right. Perfect. Stuff flows in very, very quickly this time of year. So, yeah, I mean, Jaden Sharpe to the Trailblazers.
I love how Woj is like trying to save face here by saying my wording his differently.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he's the only one still playing that game there. It's different for him, though, right? Because his network's the one who's broadcasting it. Hey, I want to go all the way back to the top pick, Paulo Banchero. Jeff Weltman, when you're playing poker, you don't put your cards on the table, right? I love it. I love it.
Good point.
You know,
Good point.
it is. So he also did say that the Magic had several meetings with Paulo Banchero. So we get that.
So they just kept it quiet.
Yep.
Wow. Impressive.
Well done. Well done by him.
Impressive. How do you to pull that off in a day and age when everybody has a camera in their pocket at all times?
Yep.
That's impressive.
Big time.
That's impressive.
Big time. All right. Sean, now here, Trevor, here's where we test Sean.
Oh,
Sean, tell us what you know about Jaden Sharpe.
Probably as much as
in college.
Right, probably as much as everybody does. It's just hard to get a good gauge from. I mean, he's an athletic guard who has some interesting shot creating skills. It's just so tough to like evaluate the defense and some other things that you would evaluate. I really didn't think Portland of all teams would make this pick, which I'm leaning back to what you guys said earlier about maybe it's another team that's telling Portland to make this pick so that they could do a trade. Because Portland trying to build a team around Dame, this does seem like an all-in move trying to appease Dame. But Jaden Sharpe, a bunch of upside, but there's just so much unknown about Jaden Sharpe.
Yeah, it's a little. I mean, it's such a gamble pick.
Yeah,
and it feels like Portland needs to win right now. That they would be more the type of team that would take the sure thing, which makes me wonder if this might be on the move at some point.
Also, I am not in school, guys, so we could stop having this conversation.
Well, who was having that conversation? Was that me?
No, the chat.
The chat.
Oh, yeah. It's just Sean. How is Sean allowed to work when he's 14 years old?
Yeah, thanks, chat. Thanks. Hey, I'll take 14 over 12.
Enjoy it while you can, Sean.
Yeah, man, it's better than being told you're fat and old.
Jeez.
All right, so Jaden Sharpe, here's the thing. Didn't play a minute in college. Didn't do anything at Kentucky. There were questions about his eligibility, whether or not he could actually play or not. This kid looks to have an unbelievable offensive package of skills as far as a scorer and shooter. I like his rise on his jumper. I think he gets up very quickly, very smoothly, very easily into his jump shot. Hey, his playmaking, who knows? A lot of young guards and wings, they've been ever asked to do is score. Especially when they're not a true old school kind of more of a point guard player. Defensively, that part's very hard to know, right? Because you're evaluating him off of high school and AAU film at this point and prep school work. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. This does not fit Portland and what they just did with the Jeremy Grant trade. This doesn't make sense to me with what they did there. That doesn't
called it.
That part's
just
off.
Called that.
So, and then Woj and others now reporting Dyson Daniels to the New Orleans Pelicans. I like this pick for the Pelicans.
Yep.
So what do you like about this pick so much for New Orleans? I mean, we had heard a lot about New Orleans maybe having this pick, on the move.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm assuming it's the playmaking that you're in love with here.
Yeah, he's good size. They don't have guards with great size there in New Orleans. I like CJ McCollum quite a bit, but they needed a playmaker with some size, and I think
that can
he's a kid
too.
who will fit it. What's that?
That's also a really good defender.
Yeah, he's going to get after it on both ends. They've got the offense covered. If they're keeping Zion, they're keeping Brandon Ingram, they're keeping, some of the CJ McCollum. You've got enough offense. You need guys who can pass and guys who can defend. I think Daniels will eventually shoot it pretty well, and he's a little bit more ready to contribute right away because he had the G League year. That's really good year of experience. He knows a little bit more how to be a pro because he's around those guys with the Ignite all the time. So I'm not saying he's going to come right in because that's a tough wing group to crack there in New Orleans, right? You've got McCollum and Graham at the one. You've got Ingram, Herb Jones. I'm gonna forget somebody, so I apologize. Trey Murphy and others. Maybe they go really big next year and really start big across the board and play McCollum, Ingram, Jones, Zion, and Valanciunas. But Daniels is going to be a player for them, I think. Mark Stein reporting. The Knicks trading up could hinge on Jalen Duren being on the board at 11. So let's see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, sucks for them. I think Duren goes 9 to the Spurs.
Think you will?
Surprise me.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that's ultimately where he winds up. Let's see what else we've got going on here in our chat. Sean, do you know your wingspan?
No, I do not.
Yeah.
6'2" with a 6'11" wingspan. Wow. Thanks, chat. You're putting some inches on me.
Oh man,
that's funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am getting it, guys. I should have said this to everybody watching. If it looks like I am looking away, it's because I am, and I'm updating spreadsheets as we go. I'm plugging.
So you're just updating where your draft picks are going?
Correct. Yeah. Every bit of work I can do now live is a little bit of work I don't need to do later tonight or tomorrow morning. So I take advantage where I can.
Looks like a variant version of me has appeared in our chat.
I swear I thought that was you. I promise you.
It's not me.
Hey, Pete Toll in the chat. Pete, shout out, former NBA front office co-host back in the day. Love seeing you there in the chat. Pete, do you guys have any sleepers you think will be really good possibly in year one?
Jake Larabia. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yeah, he could be.
Max Christie, Kendall Brown.
Oh man, you're going a little bit deeper. Into
Andrew Nembhard, who Trevor knows I'm really high on.
Yeah, I know you're very high on him.
I mean, it's not sleeper because you're drafted fourth, but I do think Keegan Murray might be pretty good right away. I think what we start looking at now is guys who fit is really important for. So I think like a guy like I think AJ Griffin could be really good. I don't know how much of a sleeper he is because people have been talking about him, but I think Mark Williams is.
I was just going there.
I'm big on him. I think he has a chance to be really, really good.
You want a deep sleeper, Keon Ellis.
Yeah, Keon Ellis is a kid who definitely has some possibility. Jalen Williams, guard out of Santa Clara. He's got really good size at about 6'6". I think he might be really good right away. So that's another guy I think.
Tari Eason, who's 6th on my big board, but is like really polarizing amongst draft Twitter and draft analysts.
Yeah, he could be, could be all right. I think he's got a little bit further to go, as far as putting together his all around game. But I do like him, quite a bit. Jeremy Sochan, I think is just going to come in and plug right in and be great. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes off the board to the Spurs here. He just seems very Spursy.
Mm-hmm. I think he'll be there at 20.
You think
maybe that's because I'm lower on him than some. I think I think he'll be there at 20.
Yeah. Hey, another thing too, just to kind of call it out here, a bunch of these kids coming off the board early and guys who will still be drafted later, Canadian-born players.
Yeah.
Canada and Australia are pumping out talent, left and right. So yeah.
The game is growing all the time, and look at the MVP race. right? I mean, you've got all internationals, and so that's great. I mean, as basketball is becoming more and more of a worldwide game, it's absolutely fantastic. It's amazing, and you can see it even in our chat, with people coming in from all over the place, and we see the same thing on Lakers Nation.
Amazing.
It's amazing how global this game is truly becoming.
Yep.
Aquarium Geek wants to know any Lakers chatter. I mean
nothing I'm hearing. They bought their pick.
Yep.
So I like what Silent DCM said. Malika Andrews is a superstar. I will also say one thing real quick too. She is one of the nicest people I've ever met. Incredibly hard worker. This was years before she was even with ESPN. I spent like a whole day at Summer League just kind of sitting near her. And unbelievable. She's just, what an incredible hard worker and just such a nice person too. It's really good when the people who are, great at their job are also really good people. Like we like that.
Oh, here we go. Pistons are keeping Jaden Ivey, despite several
them.
attempts from rival teams to acquire him.
All right, and James Edwards is pretty tapped in. He's knows on what stuff.
I'm either gonna laugh at the Spurs pick or I'm gonna say it's a good pick.
So there's no in between.
No, I have a good buddy of mine who's a Spurs fan, and I know like who he wants, so I'm gonna laugh depending on who it is.
Ricky Reyes said, if Toronto trades OG, Siakam, and Fred next, Russ is expiring. THT to first for what?
Wait,
which
what?
one of those?
I think he's same for Siakam and Van Vliet. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's saying if they trade OG, could they be looking at trading Siakam and Freddie next?
Those two. They're not going to look to trade Siakam and Van Vliet.
Right. I don't think it's going to be a teardown.
But they're not going to do Russ and THT and two late first. No.
Yeah. Nope. Not doing that. Not doing that. All right.
Come on, Spurs, make the pick.
They're getting there.
This is the Spurs, man.
They're taking their time.
Yeah.
They're taking their time. Jeff Clark said Keith is also a star and a really nice guy.
Jeff is my boss at Celtics blog. So I appreciate it, Jeff. Thanks for checking in.
And here I thought it was just an independent, unbiased person coming in. No, now we're gonna find out money changed hands as well here.
Yeah, no, yeah, right.
Hey,
money does change hands. It goes one way in my pocket. I don't send it out to have people say nice things about me. I have an ego. It's not that big.
Wow, Keith, you called it.
I told you.
Oh, there it is.
You called it.
Jeremy Sochan to the Spurs. Just seems very Spursy. He's gonna step in and play right away. He can defend. He's gonna be really good.
What are your thoughts on the rumors about them moving DeJounte Murray? What do we think about that? Did that why are it never made sense to me for a young rebuilding team to try to move on from their young all-star, but that was out there.
Yeah. Here's the thing with that one. It would have made a lot more sense if they hadn't moved Derek White last year, because then you'd still have the point guard. They don't have really another point guard to move in, right? That was kind of they had to move one of the two, because their guard line was just too crowded with those two guys, Devin Vassell, Josh Primo, Lonnie Walker. But now I mean, maybe they go they really kick off and lean heavily into a rebuild here, but I don't know. I just don't think that's the way the Spurs are going to go. And honestly, when was the last time we heard anything about the Spurs that kind of happened?
Yeah, that's true. They tend to keep things pretty quiet, pretty Spursy, I guess.
Yep.
Sean, thoughts on the Jeremy Sochan pick?
Obviously, I thought he was going to be a good fit. I just didn't think he would get picked at 9. But like Keith said, I think he's going to be able to plug and play day one. Going to be a nasty defender. and plug in one of those forward spots. Maybe you slide him along next to Keldon Johnson. So you could potentially roll out DeJounte, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sochan, and Jakob Poeltl, or whoever they may get, either in free agency or with their other 2 first-round picks. So I do like the pick a lot. I think the fit's there. And if you can really continue working on that outside jumper, then this is going to be, your prototypical 3-and-D wing, because he's a nasty defender day one, I think.
Yeah, he's NBA ready defender right away. He definitely has to work on the 3-point shot for sure. He is though too already a member of the Polish national team, the senior national team too, for Poland, which is big. He has English and Polish nationality, but he plays for Poland on the international level. Seen a little bit of time for them too, at that level on the senior national team, which is really important to know too. He's kind of coming in. He's only 19, but he's coming in a little older feeling because of some of his experience on the international level already.
So with this pick, how important is the 3-point shot to his ultimate ceiling? This is going to be everything for him, right?
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of Keldon Johnson, where Keldon Johnson, the thought was he comes in very ready as an athlete, but would he be ready as a shooter? And as he's worked and developed his 3-point shot, that's kind of lifted him to a whole different level. It's going to be the same thing for Sochan. He has to get his 3-point shot up.
Wow,
that's going to be something.
Yeah, new pick in Johnny
Davis
to the Wizards. I like it. It's not a point guard, so they still need that in Washington, but good combo guard. I think you could play him in lineups with Bradley Beal if you're gonna let Beal do most of the playmaking there, but we'll see, right? With Davis, I think it's probably the right pick for this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind of makes sense.
Is there, a little bit of overlap with Bradley Beal in terms of not really being a pure playmaker, being a little bit more score first? I'll be interested to see how that fit actually looks. And you know what, maybe this is an off the bench guy early on, and then you're not worried so much about does he fit alongside the Bradley Beal in the early going? But it'll be interesting to see what that chemistry actually looks like when they get on the floor.
Yeah, I think the little bit of the worry is his efficiency went in the toilet this year as he took on a bigger role for Wisconsin. He looked like he was going to be kind of a knockdown shooter as a freshman, and then as a sophomore, doing a lot more on-ball creation for himself. It really fell off, so that's a little bit of a worry. But my guess is he's not going to be asked to do all that much in Washington of that. And they needed another guy who was like a 2-2-3. I do wonder what happens to Corey Kispert now, who came on as the year went along as a player for the Wizards. And we know they've got 1,000,000 3-4s, on that roster still. So there's a lot of work to be done for the Wizards, and they still very, very much need to get themselves a real actual point guard. If for no reason, it's someone who can defend opposing point guards on that roster.
Yeah, that's why I thought Dyson Daniels would have been a good pick for them if he was available at 10.
Yeah, I thought he would have been too. Yeah.
So what do the Knicks do here at 11?
Duren?
Yeah, it's if you're the Knicks, you probably obviously I would hope at this point the best player on your board is who you go for there. So yeah, I don't know. I guess if it's Jalen Duren, I think then are we looking at a trade? That was thrown out there. I know there's been a little bit of cold water thrown on that, but I don't know. Let's see.
Sonic Fighter 25. I was just thinking the same thing. In our chat said, "Where are the trades?" We're 10 picks in so far. It's been pretty quiet. We've heard some teams talking trade, but nothing actually getting done. I'm a little bit surprised. Sometimes though, people are expecting a bunch of action right out of the gates, and it doesn't come till a little later on in the draft. But still, this has been a little bit on the quiet side as far as the trade front goes. So, what are we thinking on that?
my guess is guys are falling to them that they really like. I still don't know about Portland. That one I'm not sure. That's that they'll stick with Shaden Sharpe, because it doesn't make any sense. He is one of the guys who's super high upside, but just needs a ton of work. So I'm just not sure that one makes a lot of sense for them. But yeah, let's that's still, though, that's something where you could always move him later and go in a different direction with that.
Yeah, if there was any pick that I'm looking at thinking this is going to be used in a trade later, that's probably the one right now. That makes the most sense.
Ian Begley, who's reported on the Knicks for years and is probably as tapped in with them, says part of the Knicks' pursuit of Jaden Ivey after he was taken by Detroit, it depended on which players are there at 11. So I guess we'll find out if there is, if there is somebody Detroit wanted still there, then maybe. If this one comes completely out of nowhere and is like, what in the world? That says to me we might have something where Detroit wanted a specific player. Then maybe there's some kind of trade.
Right. Yep. I could see that being the case. Here's one. Tom Lou has been asking, Keith, was writing about the NBA your first ideal job? Did you pursue something else first? They know that I was a teacher prior to this.
I worked for Disney for 20 years before I started doing this. I started doing this on the side as a part-time thing. And then that grew into a second full-time job for me. And then eventually, shortly before the bubble, I left Disney 3 weeks exactly to the day of I left my job at Disney. 3 weeks to the day before the season shut down. So that was rather terrifying, to do that, but we made it through on the other side. And now I'm living out my dream job.
Living the dream. Yep.
I don't have Disneyland hookups, Alejandro. I apologize.
Hey, we've got a little update here on a player we've talked a lot about, and that is John Collins. Chris Kirshner of The Athletic reporting that he's hearing it's likely Collins remains with Atlanta past tonight, which is not what we were hearing earlier in the day, that they were working hard to move him. So it sounds like he stays with the Hawks. Most obviously, like one phone call changes that, but sounding more likely that John Collins is a Hawk. Now, will that be the case by the end of the summer movement period here, by mid-July or so? Probably not, but seems like for now, whatever Atlanta was looking for, that price has not been met.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I don't think that's I don't think he'll be back in Atlanta. I think we're in a position where this is going to be it's just, sometimes it feels like we go too far down the path with guys in trades, and then it just turns into go. So yeah.
People are talking about Disney and all that on there. Guys, you guys know Keith wrote the Disney plan for the bubble. That was the thing. You wrote the plan for having the NBA live at Disney World.
Oh wait, seriously?
During the bubble, yeah.
I did. I was for Yahoo Sports. I wrote the when everybody was speculating about cruise ships and private islands and everything else. I did write the Ja Raff does make me laugh. That is absolutely true. I think that is absolutely hilarious. I've been laughing about it for days.
Had you heard of Ja Raff before I did that news break? Okay, so I had already known about Ja Raff. I didn't realize that it was so. That was your first experience with not just having that kind of news, but then Ja Raff as well. You hadn't heard that before. That makes it all the better.
Yeah, that's why I think it's so funny. But yeah, I wrote the bubble idea because I knew, hey, Disney has all these gyms that are just sitting open, as well as hotel rooms. Here in Florida, it's private property, so it's very closed off. I know probably a lot of Laker fans in here who've never been to Walt Disney World here in Florida. Very different than Disneyland, which is literally in the middle of the city of Anaheim. Walt Disney World is its own big private thing. It's over 44 square miles of property. So they knew that they could close off what they needed to and all that. So yeah.
Impressive stuff. Helped us bring back the NBA.
Yeah, helped you guys to a title.
That's right. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, Keith.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
hey, no problem.
Okay,
They'll
so
put,
Nick,
they'll put my name in the
Ooh.
rafters of Staples at some point.
so do the Knicks fans boo this pick, no matter who it is? Is that what happens here? That's the tradition, right?
Oh, Usman Jang to the
Oh, I
Knicks.
didn't see that.
Yeah, from Sean.
Oh,
So
my.
that's all right. That's interesting.
I mean, what are we thinking? Like, not a shooter,
Yeah.
not a shooter. Can
Defender.
handle the ball, can pass. What are we thinking
Yeah.
about his? I mean, I feel like there's Knicks fans that like this pick, but or at least they're excited about the pick that's coming. I guess I haven't seen it yet there, but what do we think about this fit with the current Knicks? And I mean, I have to imagine there's some major changes coming to this Knicks team this offseason here.
So let's give a little bit of background. 6'10". He's 19, just turned 19. He's one of the younger players in the class. He's from France. He played his first couple years as a pro in France and then played last year in Australia. The league he was in France, if you go look up his numbers, it's important to take those with a huge grain of salt. It was in the 3rd division in France. So that's probably like a high-end high school prep division, like think Montverde Academy, Oak Hill Academy, something like that here in the States. Does not shoot at all. Horrible shooter. In Australia, good athlete, big, lanky, tall kid, can do all sorts of stuff. He can really pass. He can dribble some for a kid his size. Ben Simmons, light, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. This one leaves me a little cold. I had a much lower on my board.
Sean?
As did I. No, I'm in complete agreement with Keith. A weird pick. I honestly thought they were going to go Jalen Duren because of all the Mitchell Robinson stuff and maybe not wanting to pay him and letting him leave. Yeah, I'm curious how this one will pan out, but the Knicks don't have the best track record with drafting anyway. So I don't know. It's an interesting pick.
Oh,
and I did.
He's going to OKC.
Well,
there it is.
All right. Now that makes a little more sense, right? Because they can develop him, let him play, let him develop, let him work.
Right.
With that.
That makes way more sense. So now what did OKC give up?
I bet 12, probably.
12 and 30?
They don't have 30 anymore.
Oh, that's right.
That's going to Denver. Let's see. Fred Katz, poor Usman Jang, now getting booed for no reason.
That's right.
So I'm guessing 12.
Multiple first round picks.
Multiple. Well, I mean, they can, right?
Yeah, because they've got
You've got a million. You've got a million picks. You can give up extra ones. So my guess is 12 and something. Another first down the line.
Could be a future first, in future years. That's probably what we'll see. Interesting. So the Thunder moving up and taking their guy. He does make more sense there in OKC. So
yeah,
not bad. If you're the Knicks, pick up an extra first. Take that.
Yep.
Likely trade down a spot.
Yeah, now we just
gotta
wait.
So that's 5 now draft related trades.
That's 5?
Yep.
All right. But this is the first mid-draft trade that we got.
Yeah, this is the first one, because the others, with the 2 pick trades earlier today, Lakers getting 35, Cleveland picking up 49, but I'm also including the Christian Wood and the JaMychal Green because those are evolving picks tonight.
Interesting stuff. All right, cool. Let's keep this going.
Yeah,
more trades.
Yeah, let's do more
trades.
Somebody asked a question about LeBron. I missed it. It's funny. I've done I don't know. I guess it'd be like a 540 on LeBron. I really liked LeBron very early on in his career. I thought he was really just incredible with the way he came in. I then was not a big fan when he went to the Heat. I didn't fault him for that by any means. But I wasn't a big fan of that. Then when he went back to Cleveland, I kind of get to the point of like, yeah, I mean, we're back to this guy. And since I guess that's only really a 360 because I liked him, didn't like him, and liked him again. So yeah, I have no issues with LeBron. At all. Somebody else said the only player I hate is Dennis Schroeder. I don't hate Dennis Schroeder as a person. I just don't like watching Dennis Schroeder play basketball at all. I don't. Yeah, no.
Is this where the Knicks, like, if they did just move down one spot, get a future first?
Now could you flip that to Ivy? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But what do you think about? I mean, moving one spot. I mean, we don't know for sure that's what's happening here, but if that's it, moving one spot and you pick up a future first, that's a pretty hefty price to pay for OKC. I mean, not all.
And we don't know that, right? That hasn't been reported yet.
Right. So we got to see.
But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
I saw another question.
OKC would be the longest team in the NBA. Giddy,
right?
Poku, Chet.
Yeah. I'm already calling Poku and Chet the thin towers.
Yeah.
I like it.
Keith, Trevor, and Sean, if you guys could go back in time and convert one of the finals losses your favorite team suffered into a win, which championship loss would you convert to a win? Yeah, for me, it would be 1987.
Okay.
Because I was like a little kid then, and I was crushed when the Lakers beat the Celtics in 87. Like I literally was like, I remember telling my dad like that I hated him for making me a Celtics fan. So I might have overreacted a little bit in the moment.
The Thunder still have the 12th pick. It wasn't a part of the Knicks trade.
Oh,
and they're going to pick Jalen Williams.
Okay.
So that is a rise for Jalen Williams. That's a big time rise up the board for him.
Where was he at? Like where did you guys have him on your board?
Projected to be late going into the draft process, second round, over the last probably
and he got into the teens,
month and a half.
The 20s,
into the late teens,
20s.
early 20s.
Yeah.
And now here he is at 12. I mean, good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Jason T actually at 04 is probably up there for me too.
Interesting. Okay. So the Thunder get, back-to-back picks here. Now, if these hit, if Jang hits and Williams hits, I mean, then you're fine, right? I mean, this is if you have belief in these guys and you're OKC, this is what you accumulate all those assets for. So you can go and buy and get the guys that you want. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not these guys actually pan out and whether it works out the way that they're hoping it does. But I mean, it's the kind of thing where if OKC is convinced, go get them, right? You've got all the draft picks. Go get the guys that you want.
We were talking about trades. If there is a potential trade, I think the Spurs might look to trade up, package their 2 first-round picks, especially if Duren keeps sliding. At some point, you just got to say, well, crap, Duren's really, really good. Let's just go up and get our center for the future.
Yeah, if I was Charlotte, I would. You've got these 2 picks at 13 and 15. I personally like Mark Williams better than Jalen Duren. I just think he's going to be a better NBA player, and I do think he's going to extend his range out. Eventually. So, but yeah, you got to get a big if you're Charlotte. You got to have some kind of young big in the pipeline. I know they drafted Kai Jones last year, but there's a long way to go with him. And I don't know if he's ever going to be a center. I think he's probably going to be more of an athletic 4. All right, so now I'm very curious to see what picks the Knicks did get.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. I'm looking for it right now, trying to see if anybody had it.
Nobody's put anything out there.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Knicks try to use the picks for Kyrie, maybe. Is that why you're getting future first?
I mean, it could be. My guess is if you're the Knicks, you're looking at it and saying, look, we don't think this kid whoever we're going to get here, whether it was going to be Jang or if they had somebody personally at the top of their board, they're probably looking at it and saying, we don't think this kid's gonna like crack into like our rotation next year. So why not just get assets? And then who knows? Maybe Kyrie. We'll see.
Pete says, does getting Jang and Williams signal Dort possibly on the move?
Yeah, I do think. Yeah, we talked about this when we did the shooting guard free agent rankings. I was convinced the idea for OKC was going to be to decline his team option, make him restricted, and work out a long-term deal for Lou Dort. Now I don't think that's going to be how it goes. I think they may pick that up and then just keep him, and then maybe they put him into a trade. I think Kenrich Williams, there's a good chance he gets moved as well. Here they've just got too many guys, so we're gonna there's gonna be a lot of stuff in there.
What's OKC's situation now in terms of cap space, in terms of the ability to go out there and absorb salary? I know it's a bit of a ticking clock here where once we turn to July 1st, they no longer have that space. So is it just a matter of time before that?
Yeah, picking up this pick from the Knicks puts about $4.5 million more on the salary, because obviously it looks like they're not moving off another pick. So they're down about 19 million left. That's actually next year. So never mind. They still got about 23 million left in cap space. I misspoke there, because that'll be on next year's books. So next season, though, once July 1st hits, you're absolutely right. They're not going to have any cap space.
Yeah.
Problem is, I don't know that they will want to go to, hey, don't spam the chat with the same thing. I'm not going to answer it if you do that. So we don't do that. Yeah. So let me go back, because that threw me all off. Shiny object. You go into it now. You've got 23 million left. You can't use all of it though, because then you'll be pushing up against the luxury tax, and they certainly don't want to do that. So my guess is maybe another move or two coming from them. We'll see, but yeah, I don't think we're going to see major changes for them coming forward.
All right, we're starting to get into territory. So I have my big board, and then I have like my list of targets for the Lakers at 35. We're starting to get to the point where some of these players might start getting crossed off. I think some reaches maybe.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, guys, I'm working right now on getting the bot out of there.
Yeah. We'll get it. We'll get there. We'll get there. Hang in with us.
Yep.
Alan, what did I say? How did I hurt your feelings?
Spamming the chat.
It was about spamming the chat. Well, don't spam the chat. Then I won't hurt your feelings. Back on OKC just for a minute. Keith Smith to the Lakers.
That's Keith. Do it.
They're in trouble then. If
Keith would be, if the first front office meeting, he'd be talking about, okay, how can we trade LeBron to the Celtics?
Right.
Oh man, never
Let's
mind.
extend Westbrook.
Oh wow,
5 more years at the max.
That's just brutal, man. Like that's suffering right there. Jeez.
Trevor knows this because I've answered it before. If the Lakers paid me to work for them, I would literally paint my house yellow and purple. That's it. Loyalty dies the minute I start accepting a paycheck from somewhere else. I would paint that thing. Yeah, that is true. I would fit the Lakers age requirement from last year.
Jeez.
That is true. I might even be a little young yet.
The secret weapon in the office.
I want to go back to the OKC thing. I think we're really in a position with the Thunder of this is really, going to be very, very interesting to see how they get there over the next couple of years, because on the Dort question that Pete asked about going back a few minutes, I don't think they want big money on the books in 2023. So like a year from now, because they have a real chance at making a run at pretty good cap space. And there goes Jalen Duren. off the board
There you
to
go.
the Charlotte Hornets. So that's just my thought on OKC. Briefly, I think they're trying to set up for a big summer in 2023, and I think by then they're hopeful. Giddey, Shea, maybe Holmgren. They've started to. It'll be time to start turning the corner and moving up the standings a little bit and starting to win.
So the Hornets have been looking for, just to move over to them, and Jalen Duren, they've been looking for a center. Is this? I mean, do they check that box now? Or, I mean, they've been in talks for Miles Turner. We've heard Rudy Gobert. We've heard, Clint Capella. Is this Jalen Duren and we're good? How do you think the Hornets are feeling about their center situation now?
Yeah, I don't think this takes you out of going and getting a veteran center by any means. At least I would hope not. But I think now you've kind of got your development prospect right in there, and if you could still go get a Miles Turner at a reasonable price, yeah, go do it. Sean, I know you like Duren, so what do you think?
I love the pick for Charlotte. Just an insane athlete, legit lob threat. Really likes to post up and face up and shoot that 18-foot jumper. But he still is a really raw draft prospect who really does have a bunch of moves in his post up tool belt. Really can only face up, honestly, and shoot that jumper. Can't really rely on him down low on the block. And defensively, he's not terrible, but he's one of those players where they're in the right position, but they never end up making the play. Like they're in, like if you're in drop, like he's in the right spots, whether he's a tag or if he's actually the drop big. He's in the right spot, but wow, never mind.
Up there. All right. So now
rerouted to Detroit.
Now, does Detroit then turn around and reroute him again? Well, I guess wait. Because
rerouted again.
All right, let's see. Wait, Shams is saying he's
what?
traded to the Knicks.
So the Knicks. Pistons are acquired. Woj is saying it's the Pistons.
Yeah, Jake's saying it's the. I think it's the Pistons. Let's see if Sean. I'm going to hop over to my tweet deck.
Wow. Okay. I like this. Let's get a little Woj versus Shams battle.
Yeah. Right.
Here.
Let's go.
We need to have like a boxing ring sound.
Is still up.
Hornets.
We do play the trade. Play the trade drop. We haven't played it yet.
Oh yeah. See, I got so into this draft stuff. All right, here we go. We just don't know what the trade is yet.
We just don't know what the trade is.
All right, Ian Begley says it's the Knicks too.
Okay, so there's some confirmation that it's the Knicks.
Well, it's 2-2. We need Stein or Haynes to.
Wait, who said it was the Knicks too?
Fisher and Woj have Detroit. Begley and Shams have the Knicks. Is this
off?
Could this be one of those like weird situations where there's a miscommunication, like which Brooks is it really? And both the Pistons and the Knicks think that they got the trade.
That would be amazing.
Let's get all the drama here.
Yeah. Look, and it's funny, right? Everything's gone to a complete crawl. nobody's tweeting anything. Vince Goodwill is now jumping in and saying it's the Pistons.
Oh, wait, Jake Fisher. I don't know where Duren is going.
Okay.
But this sounds like a 3-team trade. Well,
okay.
Okay. So now it's a 3-team trade, maybe.
Well, but where?
Detroit, New York, and Charlotte.
And meanwhile, the Cavs are still.
I love how honest Jake was.
Right, I love. Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know where he's.
I don't know where
I
he's
don't
going.
know.
But okay, we still don't know what picks the Knicks got in the OKC trade.
So maybe that's why.
So this could all be wrapped in, like intertwined, right? This could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
This could be the kind of thing that might take us some time to fully unravel exactly what's going on here.
Somebody just mentioned Rick Madden. The Knicks want Ivy. Do you think the Knicks and Ochai? I mean, I think we've been booking this one for a while for the Cavs. Love that pick for them.
Yeah, that's good.
But do we think that the Knicks traded for the extra future draft picks to try to make a play to get Jaden Ivey, and maybe that's what the 3-team trade is?
Yeah, that could be. That definitely could be.
That makes some sense. And if that's the case, that would be our biggest trade so far of the night.
Yeah.
Now, let's see if the Hornets use 15 to go get Mark Williams.
Okay.
I'm very curious to see. AJ Griffin is fallen.
I wasn't that high on him, but I still had him like a lottery pick. But
somebody will scoop him up.
AJ Griffin might fall to the Lakers at 35. No.
He's not falling that far.
I'll be shocked if he falls that far. All right.
If he does, Rob Pelinka better sprint to the league to Mark Tatum will be right there.
Okay, Ochai Agbaji.
The Knicks are trading Kemba to Detroit. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So
More.
Right? More.
Yeah.
Kemba to Detroit. Okay, so that could just be into cap space.
Yep, that's exactly what it will be.
Kemba Walker's involved. So Knicks sent Kemba to Detroit. Okay,
Jalen
Knicks.
Duren.
Okay, the Knicks did get him. Moved him with Kemba Walker to the Pistons.
For
right.
Yes. So is Jalen Duren the cost of moving? That can't be the cost of moving off of Kemba. There's more to this.
Right. What's yeah.
Now the Knicks clearing space. I mean, if they can get off a couple more deals, that's the cap space. So
we're gonna get a Kemba buyout in Detroit, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would be surprised. Yeah. The Knicks really they should not have given him 2 guaranteed years. Like this is
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
The Knicks clearing salary for free agency. Okay, Pistons are getting Duren. The Knicks, crucially for immediate free agency matters, are shedding Kemba Walker's salary to Detroit to help fund their free agent pursuit of Jalen Brunson. Now, let me ask you this, Keith. Tampering does not happen in the NBA.
No, never.
Never happens.
Never. Wink.
So the Knicks
but when it's
are,
your dad, I mean,
right? I was
talked
just
to my dad
going to
about
get to
all
that.
sorts
Like
of stuff.
Rick Brunson is now an employee of the Knicks, and they are totally, completely shedding salary and giving up stuff in order to do that on blind faith, correct?
All right, here we go.
Oh, here we go. Okay, here it is.
Pistons are sending the Hornets the 2025 first-round pick via Milwaukee that they got yesterday in the Jeremy Grant deal.
Okay.
So that's what the Pistons are going to get. Duren and Walker. Move that 2025. And then the Knicks, I'm guessing, are just getting off of Kemba's.
So wait, the Pistons are going to leave this first round potentially of Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren.
Yeah.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I will say this. I feel bad for Kemba. I really like Kemba Walker. Like, he's just such a good guy. I don't think he's got anything left. Maybe he can be a 15 to 20 minute a night bench scorer on a good team, but
there's some guards who have the ability to adjust their games and play late. And I mean, Jason Kidd is the poster child for this, right? Who managed to find ways to stay relevant. For other guards, especially when you're the smaller guys that rely on their quickness, the fall can happen really fast. And it feels like that was the case for Kemba. It just it was just one season. Suddenly that's it.
All right. So Detroit turned, tell me if I'm wrong here then. Jeremy Grant into Kemba Walker, Jalen Duren, and 2 second-round picks. I don't know that I like that. I mean, in a ton of cap space, but
What, turning Jeremy Grant into cap space?
And
Cap
Duren.
space,
And
eating
Duren.
Walker's deal, and Mark Williams to the Hornets at 15.
Makes
That's
sense.
a good pick.
Yep, that makes a lot
That's
of
a
sense.
really good pick.
That's
one of my
their,
favorite
yeah.
picks of the night.
they're hoping that's their Robert Williams right there.
Yep.
That's what they're
With
hoping.
range.
Yep.
Too. Because I think he's going to be able to hit jumpers eventually. All right, meanwhile, the Knicks, I mean, they get off a pick, get off Kemba.
They're shedding salary like crazy.
Shedding salary. Yeah, that's
Again,
whether it's Jalen Brunson or Kyrie Irving.
do you do that unless you know something's up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tampering's illegal, though, guys. Remember that.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Ever.
Hey, again, when it's your dad.
You just talk about it at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Oh, good question here. Does that change anything about Ayton to Detroit?
I don't think so.
I would
hope not. Right? I mean, maybe, but I don't know. Hey, I want to go back one thing just because we didn't talk about it so far. One, because I don't count the Canadian-born players that played in college, don't count as international players in that sense. One international player, Ousmane Dieng, and one senior so far, Ochai Agbaji. Was the first senior off the board.
That's interesting.
So yeah, we're
and that can change as when you get later in the draft. That's where you get more of the seniors starting to come off the board.
Yeah, it's right at the beginning. It's a lot more about upside. So but yeah.
So wait, what did the Knicks get in the trade?
AJ Griffin to.
I love that fit.
Oh, Hawks.
We don't know what the Knicks got. Probably very little. It's probably going to be some form of like protected pick or something, draft right, something that won't convey. This was just about them shedding salary.
Yeah, it's the kind of move that you don't know if it's good or not until you know what they do with the cap space that they created.
All right, so let's catch up here a little bit because I think we got a little distracted. I want to go back. I'm going to go back a few picks if that's okay.
To Ochai.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So I want to go back to Jalen Williams with the Thunder. I like that pick for them. Gives them another wing. They can really do some stuff as a ball handler. Another guy can really play. I think with Giddey and Shea, I think you could play all three of them together. Honestly, and they've got some fun lineup combos they can go to. And right now the Thunder are sitting on Holmgren, Dieng, and Williams. That's a pretty good night. Even not being the biggest Dieng fan in the world, I like that. Jalen Duren now going to go to Detroit. Correct, right?
Yep. And check out Woj's tweet. Tremendous coup for Detroit GM Troy Weaver to land two of his top targets, Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren,
He's not wrong.
with the cost of only a future first-round pick. The cost was Jeremy Grant, Woj.
Yeah.
I know, I know he puts this stuff out to do a little favor for certain people and all that kind of stuff, but the cost was Jeremy Grant. The cost wasn't a future first-round pick. And I'm not saying it's the wrong move, but that's just not being honest.
No, for sure. I mean, it's still, I don't think it's necessarily bad work, but
It'll still work out.
But Duren, let's see what happens with Ayton if they go that route or not. But I like Duren with Isaiah Stewart. I think you can get 48 minutes of good center play out of the two. I think would be pretty solid there. Now let's get into ones we really haven't talked much about. Ochai to Cleveland, Agbaji. I don't hate it. I think the Cavs need a little more ready to play guys. And I think he's that bill.
Senior. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Sean?
I like the Ochai pick. I've mocked it a couple of times as well. Just progressively getting better at shooting the three ball while increasing his volume, which is important. Really fluid shot motion. I think he could just be a secondary scorer in the offense, obviously letting Darius and Evan Mobley. But I think he'll slot right in with those guys. And, I mean, he's not a playmaker. And, I mean, he wasn't that in college either. That's not one of his strong suits, and he doesn't have to worry about that. So I think it'll be a solid piece.
They needed wings too.
Yeah.
In the worst way there, because that's not a position of strength for them. So yeah, I like that one. All right, Mark Williams to the Hornets. We talked about that a little bit. Back-to-back Duke guys off the board with Williams and Griffin in a row. I think I think Williams is going to be good for Charlotte. I think I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year he's their starting center.
Yeah,
I think he's that good. And then AJ Griffin to the Hawks. We're right back where we were with the Hawks with having a bunch of wings, and they're going to clear that out somehow this offseason. You got to imagine.
Yeah, I mean they've been involved in too many trade rumors. There's too much smoke for nothing to happen here. Something's going to happen. It's going to clear out some space, even if it looks kind of messy right now. But I mean, he's a former player, current coach's kid. Like that helps. He's been around the game forever, and I mean, I don't hate this pick, but it'll be interesting to see exactly how the Hawks structure things and how they're able to rework this roster via trade, because that's coming at some point, whether it's tonight or in the next few days or whatever. Trades are coming to Atlanta that could drastically change how Griffin is used in their offense.
Yeah, I think AJ Griffin, just talk about the player and what Atlanta might get with him. I think he's one of the best perimeter defenders in this draft, if not arguably one of the three best. And it's more off ball too, which really I think stands out. When they go drop, he's always in attack. He's in right positioning defensively in the gaps as well. One of the biggest red flags, I mean, not only the injury concerns, but he just has no burst. It feels like you just don't see the athleticism from somebody like him, which is why some people say top 5. It was a ton of people that had him in the top 5 on their big boards. I thought that was a huge reach. And I think some of the shooting is going to come down back to earth a little bit when he comes to the NBA. But an elite defender that's awkwardly good in pick and roll situations. I do like this pick for Atlanta. I think, like Trevor was mentioning, they're going to have some roster reshaping to do after making the selection.
Yeah, you can't have that many wings.
Yeah.
You just
the Clippers.
Let's see. Okay. What?
Tari Eason is falling. If he goes to Chicago, that's the steal of the draft. If he goes to Chicago.
So what do we have here now?
17 Minnesota? Houston? No, that's Houston. You're right.
Yeah, we got Houston here, then Chicago.
Somebody said thanks for going back to the picks. Yeah, I mean it is the draft. We should
that trade took some unraveling.
Yeah, it caught us all.
Bringing that up.
Where we were. Will the Celtics trade Nesmith, Pritchard, or Williams? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, maybe.
Where are we at on our trade ticker? 8?
For that trade?
Yeah.
How many trades we've got now?
Nothing.
Oh, there
the
goes
Rockets
Tari
are focused on Tari. He just took Jabari, though.
Yeah, but if you're the Rockets, you're just trying to pile up talent.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. It's like they're in a position where it's just pile up talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Rockets are at that stage. They just have to get. It doesn't matter as much for them with fit. Some of these other teams, fit is a concern. For the Rockets, just get as much talent as you can, and then you sort it out later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay. I'm curious to see. Trevor, have like a 20-player list of targets for the Lakers. I'm starting to get nervous. Like, when are we going to start seeing
who's the top of your list right now?
You give us your top 5.
Max Christie, Jake LaRavia, Kendall Brown, and Josh Minot. That's 4. Did I say Jabari Walker? I think that'll be 5. I would say Nimbar, but no, Blake Wesley. Blake Wesley, not Jabari. Blake Wesley.
Not Jabari Walker. Even though you've got the Lakers legacy there with Samaki?
Yeah. I mean, it is the Lakers, and we have to take anybody with relation to the Lakers, so they'll probably be Jabari.
No, if that's the case, then Sharif O'Neal is on down.
Some people think we're gonna take Sharif for 35.
Sharif O'Neal is probably going to go undrafted.
That's my thought too.
He averaged something like 2 points per game last year.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. And then he made a comment. I want to say it was yesterday, the day before, about like how Shaq is not happy that he did this.
Yeah,
like I kind of understand why. Like there was nothing in the stuff that I looked into. There was nothing that jumped out at me and said this guy's NBA ready.
Wow. Okay, that's a stretch.
What, Easton the best
defender in the draft?
Bro.
Woj said Houston has considered Easton the best defender in the draft.
Bro.
Taken by his ability to switch and play with aggression. He is a good defender.
Yeah.
He's long and he's big and he can do all sorts of stuff. That's not
the best defender in the draft.
Yeah. Because he plays with aggression?
Yeah, I mean, I like him. Plenty. Just
good defender.
Yeah. That's like we hear every year, right? Like I guarantee you, we're gonna hear out of OKC, out of Houston, out of Orlando. They're all, well, obviously Orlando, but they're all gonna say some effect of, we got the guy that we would have taken number one.
Every single team
every year. Every year.
Yeah, everybody's, we're thrilled. That guy was at the top of our board, even though the Celtics are going to say that at 53.
Yeah.
He was at the top of our board.
The 1 year, it was
what was his name
De'Aaron Fox was 5, and even the Kings were like, oh, he was number 1 on our draft board at 5. It's a thing every year.
Yeah. I'm gonna mute just for a minute because I'm gonna work on some stuff. We're gonna be doing a lot of clicking, and I know that gets annoying for everybody.
Okay, quick, Sean. Well, Keith's gone. Let's talk Lakers.
Let's talk. Yeah, he's gone now. I quit.
Pete says Shaq could pull a string and get Sharif a 2-way somewhere. I bet. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if somebody gives him a look and everything, but. And I just thought I just didn't see anything. And talent evaluation isn't what I typically do day to day, but from the digging that I did and from the film that I watched and everything, there was nothing where I went, oh, yep, that guy's got it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he sticks, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So
I'd be stunned if he gets drafted. Sorry to cut you off. I'd be stunned if he gets drafted. I mean, positively, I guess, because good for him, but I just don't see it.
Crunchy says, Sean, who has more potential, Austin Reeves or Wenyen Gabriel?
Austin Reeves.
Yeah. Agreed.
Tell me that was a trick question, chat. You guys trying to trick me up here? Please.
LeBron paid some high compliments to Austin Reeves yesterday. Yeah, I don't want him to get hyped too much where the bar is set too high and then there's just disappointment. All
right, I'm back. Stop talking about Austin Reeves.
Oh, come on.
Dang. That was the one good thing about the Lakers last year.
No, I really like Austin Reeves. I just think he's a good, solid player. I think Laker. I saw somebody ask a long time ago, Austin Reeves or Wenyen Gabriel.
Yeah.
What are we doing? It's Austin Reeves.
Easy.
Miles and miles and miles. So
Lakers should draft Sean. Looks like he has a quick first step. I think you improperly evaluated me there.
All right, you guys want some updated cap space stuff?
Yes, let's hear it.
All right, so Detroit, after picking up Kemba Walker and the 11th pick, cap will be at about $44 million in space. That was what I project them at. Okay. But the big mover now, the New York Knicks, I've got them at about $16 million in space, keeping Mitchell Robinson's cap hold. If that goes away, they're at about $18 million in space. So that's a salary dump away from doing what they need to do to get throw the big money at Jalen Brunson.
So that's a Fournier or someone like that they can move off of. Now, Keith, I saw Eric Pincus was talking about this earlier today. like that the Celtics could absorb Fournier into the exception that they got from Fournier.
Yeah, so I spent a lot more time than I should admit on that this afternoon. But the simple story is they could. They'd have to do it before June 30th, because that is a position where they would have to you got to use this year's salary to do that, but they could. So we'll see.
Doesn't mean that they should, but just kind of interesting. Like, has that ever happened before? I don't think it has, right?
No. So the closest that there was if we Woj says Walker's expected to work a buyout. I think we knew that.
And which we talked about. Makes a lot of sense.
A couple years ago, when Andre Iguodala got traded to the Grizzlies, the Warriors created a huge trade exception. Iguodala was then subsequently traded to the Heat. There was a point where it looked like the Heat were going to flip him back to the Warriors because there was a third team involved, that he would get flipped back to the Warriors, and this would and he would go into the Andre Iguodala trade exception. Didn't end up happening, but that was rumored out there. But we'll see if something happens with Fournier or not. I tend to think that's not where Boston's gonna want to go, but we'll see. They're gonna do something.
Yeah, I don't think it makes a ton of sense for Boston, but
the Bulls pick rumored
he's available.
To be available. Yep.
Okay.
Bulls
are gonna take
Never
Dalen
mind.
Terry.
There it is.
For number 18.
What are your thoughts on
I'm going to
Dalen?
let Sean cover that one because I'm going to send out a tweet here.
Well, crap.
Well, you've got a ball handler. With Lonzo Ball and who knows where he's at, that might be something that you need, particularly if you're going to move Kobe White, and that's been discussed. I could see where that fits a need if you can bring in another ball handler. But not necessarily known as a shooter. So
yeah,
I don't hate it in terms of fit, particularly, again, not knowing Lonzo's status. And then if you do wind up moving Kobe White, okay, there's probably a need here. So in lieu of a trade, which I feel like was probably the best option if the Bulls could find something out there to help them right now, I don't have necessarily a problem with this, right?
Yeah. And then again, like you brought up this the Lonzo potential injury concerns and what the status is on that. Again, you're talking about maybe a Lonzo 2.0, honestly. Without the hype, a really good perimeter defender, was probably the best perimeter defender for that Arizona Wildcats team that had a solid little tournament run. Really nice passer as well, but just was not able to hit the three ball efficiently at all. Didn't shoot a lot at all, honestly, either. But again, with a guy like Benedict Mathurin, that could be expected a little bit. But the defense and the playmaking, he'll have a spot in the league and for a long time, I think. And this is a nice fit for the Bulls.
Yeah. So just fine for the 18th pick.
Right. Question: does this mean Kobe White could be on the way out?
I think there's been a lot of rumors about that too already, about Kobe White being moved. So that's where it really doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Because I was about to say, if you kept Kobe White, this guard room is like overly deep. Like Alex Caruso, there's just too many guys that are worthy of 20-ish minutes a game, if not more.
Yeah.
Like Alex Caruso, obviously, Kobe White, obviously Lonzo. If they bring back Levine, he's still considered a guard. It's just too many. There's not enough minutes to go around for everybody. So,
yeah, I definitely think that this is a precursor to a Kobe White trade. Isham 976, what was the Detroit trade? So they wind up with Duren
and Kemba
and Kemba, and they're going to have to buy out Kemba.
Yep.
So you've got some pieces that are coming in there for Detroit, and then the Knicks are essentially salary dumping Kemba and using Duren to do that, and freeing up more space potentially to go chase after Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, so I just
don't get. Go ahead, Keith.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Sean. Finish your thought.
I was just gonna say, imagine they don't get anybody like Kyrie or Brunson. Imagine that falls through in the Knicks. I mean, they've tried to plan out cap space for so many years now go back to the offseason where Kyrie and KD were available. They thought they had the shot at them. And it just feels like every time there's a big free agent that they try to clear cap space for, it just never works out in the Knicks' favor.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. So my updated cap space projections, doing these live here on the fly, are Detroit now down to 44.3 million, Orlando 27.9, Indiana 25.6, San Antonio 19.3, and the Knicks 16.3. Now, as I said a couple minutes ago, I have them keeping Mitchell Robinson's cap hold. But if they were to announce that, that would get them up to 18. But they're within one salary dump of a trade away from getting up to 25 million or more. So
could happen.
They're getting there. Yeah, I mean, my guess is that you don't start the process unless you feel pretty good that you can finish it by moving off more money.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not when 11th pick to shed Kemba is involved. That's you better feel pretty good that you're moving off the rest of it. Otherwise, you're probably going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Yep. Minnesota coming up next. Who are they taking? Not Steph Curry. We know that. Be a different point guard.
Johnny Flynn.
Not Johnny Flynn.
Ty Washington, maybe? That could be an interesting one.
Yeah, could be. They could use a point guard. Patrick Beverley and D'Angelo Russell. I do like Jordan McLaughlin quite a bit, but could be.
What are we thinking on the D'Angelo Russell trade rumors right now?
I get it. Hey, it feels like that's your move to if you're going to do something, right? Like that's the guy that's carrying a big salary that could get things moving around. So I don't hate the idea of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, especially after him getting benched in Game 7 down the stretch, it just felt like, okay, this has run its course. I'm just not sure where he's going to land.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is stuck in. He's too good to be just a bench scorer, obviously, but he is also not. He's not a real playmaker. He's also not a true pure scorer. Yeah. At all times. I think almost it feels a little weird that saying this, but it's almost like he made that All-Star game almost kind of hurt him because I think people are that gave people
they hold him to that standard
sense.
Yeah,
of what he is. So yeah.
All right. Malachi Brenham could be
another
pick here. Yeah.
Let's see. Is anybody falling right now?
Malachi, you could consider falling a little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, that's the one.
Honestly, I think the rest of it, no real surprises in terms of like falling.
No, yeah, I think we're pretty well where we should be.
I feel like we need another big trade right now. We need something here.
I'm always going to take another big trade. Now, this is the range. You know who there's a kid I like who I think we're in a range that you think about at this point is Patrick Baldwin Jr. He really had a rough year last year. No, Jake LaRavia and trading him to Memphis.
Right.
And they're trading him to Memphis.
What is Memphis giving up?
Well, Memphis does have two picks coming a little later. Just to finish my quick thought on Baldwin, this was a kid who was one of the top recruits in his class, chose to go to a mid-major to play for his dad, had injury problems, really struggled. But I think he can play. This is once you're now down here getting into the 20s, this is where I would really take a shot.
So Memphis, they've got 22 and 29. Could package both of those.
I'm going to guess one of those is in play here.
Would you do both if you're Memphis?
I would consider it. They don't have a lot of roster spots to work with.
Yeah.
So why not? Right?
Shoot, I would.
You're almost out of roster spots. So if you really like
there it is.
Arabia that much.
22 and 29.
Yep. Yeah. Perfect.
There goes the first player off my Lakers big board.
Cross that one off.
Cross that one off.
Scratch it off the board there.
Boo. This is such a good pick for.
Yeah, they have nailed the draft over the last several years.
I'm actually like irritated that he went there.
And that's a big part of why they are where they're at now. And they're on the rise.
Yep. And set up for years to come. They too, with this now, they can be in position if they decide, we're good with Kyle Anderson, and if Tyus Jones moves on, they can have about 20-ish million in cap space.
Don't tell me that, Keith. No.
Yeah, they can.
Damn it, Keith.
Yeah.
I blame you. This is your fault.
Somebody asked, what time is the second round starting?
We're on pick 19, so probably
like an hour?
An hour-ish. Yeah.
Hour plus?
Yeah, probably about an hour.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes per pick. We got, 10 more to go in the first round? 10, 11? I don't know. What pick was this? Was 19?
Yeah, 19. So we have 10 more, so 5 minutes per. So, yep.
Yeah.
Just under an hour.
I guess we should talk about the pick now. This is a home run for Memphis, in my opinion, and a great cutter, one of the better ones in the draft, in my opinion, that has some defensive versatility as well, guarding on the perimeter. The Grizzlies have been, great. Thanks, Jake. Some more people try to make my life miserable with this pick. And he's really young, too, and he has some really nice upside. A solid athlete as well. But, yeah, I really love this pick.
He's not super young. He's going to be 23 at the start of the season, right? I think.
Fair enough.
He's
1999 birth date, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, my bad.
So, but, yeah, I mean, he can play, and that's the tricky part. I mean, it's good for Memphis. I do wonder if this means no more Kyle Anderson.
Yep.
Good question.
Kind of could replace Kyle Anderson in theory.
He also shot
as another forward who can do some stuff.
He also shot 39.7% on catch and shoot threes, and you're probably gonna get a lot of them with John Morant driving through those lanes.
Yeah, and that's been a priority for Memphis is improving. They're shooting 37% overall in 3 years in college. Started his college career at Indiana State, where once upon a time Larry Bird went to school, so there's that too. But yeah, I mean, he's shown last year too 3.7 assists. Can move the ball a little bit. I like this one for Memphis.
I'm seeing Laravia's 20.
Man.
I might have put you're right. I put in the wrong birth here. He already is only 20, so that's huge. Yeah, that's even better. Yep, you're right.
All right, so where are we at here now? We're moving on to the Spurs.
Rod Boone of the Charlotte Observer. On top of the future first, the Hornets acquired 4 second-round picks in the Jalen Duren deal.
4 second. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Memphis, can you guys stop being a good organization? SW, no, I'm not okay. For somebody to put that in the comments, I'm very irritable right now.
We've hit that stage at the draft.
They're just gonna be so good next year, dude. And I think Keith just brought up the cap space they might potentially have.
Yeah, I don't think they will, because I think they're going to do everything they can to keep Tyus Jones.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're in position to do some stuff.
So are you guys right now, do you feel like the trades we've seen is about right? Are you underwhelmed? Are you thinking that this has been a great night as far as trades? How are we feeling about the overall excitement of this draft?
Yeah, ish, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot has happened. I think we're going to see a crap ton of movement in the second round. It'll probably be a lot of stuff where it's moving for future picks and moving for other stuff. So I think that is, we'll see a lot of stuff with there. But yeah,
I'm a little. It hasn't really had the big fireworks that we expected. Although the one, the Detroit trade was interesting, but
yeah, I think that the big stuff is
coming
later. We still don't know what the Knicks got for the Jeng.
Yeah.
Right.
From OKC. Multiple future firsts, right?
Yeah. We don't know what though.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh, there's
Malachi Branham. Yeah.
To the Spurs. Ooh, I love that.
Spurs having a nice little day for them so far. Sochan and Branham. Yep. I like it. Another guard. Probably spells the end of Lonnie Walker.
Yeah, I think we saw that coming though.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Yep. Jason, I'm recovering now. There's like 19 other guys on my board. I'm fine now.
Everything will be okay.
Memphis Grizzlies, man. Like, let them go to the Heat or something.
All right. Now we've got because the Heat don't have enough guys that they just unearth out of nowhere.
Fair. Rather be Miami and let it be Keith's problem than our problem, though.
Well, that's true. Denver at 21 coming up. They have some options.
They go
here.
guard, maybe? Is this Ty?
I mean, you've already got Monte Morris. You've got
I mean, he's been in trade talks though.
Yeah, he has been, but you've got Bones Highland. You got Jamal Murray coming back. I'd probably think a wing.
Wolves also send us a future second round pick to the Grizzlies.
Could be a big too here for Denver. Zeke Najee's presumably going to take Jermichael Green's spot, but you wouldn't mind having another developmental big.
Maybe
could always be Nikola Jovic too, just to really screw everybody up.
You have to do that, don't you?
You have to do it.
And then awesome. Play them at the same time. You have to do it.
Imagine we're doing a playback game, Trevor, and it's Lakers Nuggets, and like they're on this court at the same time, Jovic and Jokic. That would be a real hassle.
Yeah,
I think so. That'll be fun though. Just I mean, except for when you're playing them, but otherwise, it'd be fun.
Caleb Houston picked. No, I think it'll be a second rounder.
Yeah, he doesn't defend enough, I don't think.
Patrick Ball went to the Lakers. I don't know. I
wouldn't mind that. That's an upside play. I don't hate that idea. If that's the way the Lakers went. One thing with the Spurs too, just to go back with Branham in the fold, if they do let Lonnie Walker go, they can create over about $32.5 million in cap space.
Jeez.
Which that puts them in position to do some stuff. So there's that.
Right.
Guys, where's the question? Get some questions going. Throw them
well, they said, do you think Anthony Edwards is a superstar?
Wendell Moore to Denver. Wow.
Okay.
Well,
so there's the
potentially.
link.
Yeah.
To Denver. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, Jake Fisher is saying they believe Denver is promised.
And it's teams behind Denver.
All right.
So it's not Denver. So we'll see if that holds true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Edwards. Yeah.
He's on his way, I think.
He's burgeoning superstar. Is that fair
to
say? Yeah, on his way for sure. I mean, he's definitely a pretty good actor. He was great in Hustle.
Trevor's gone on me.
That's what I thought too. I was like, he's actually got me disliking him, and I like Anthony Edwards. I'm like, he's really good.
I wanted Wancho to punch him in the face.
That's right.
That movie.
Yep.
When he had him on the ground and then he hit the ground, I was like, no, punch him right in the head.
Yeah.
So now Woj is coming in saying Christian Braun.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Another a shooter, right? And that's when you got Jokic, put shooters around him. That's You're never going to go wrong that way.
Now
right?
it's Fisher versus Woj.
We need Shams.
Yeah, I think Jake. Yeah, he wasn't saying they were going to pick him.
Right, yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see.
Drew Timmy is not in this job. He
withdrew.
Yeah, he withdrew.
He withdrew, went back to school.
Christian Braun it is.
All right. I like that.
I didn't even have him on my Lakers list because I thought he was going first round for sure. So no disappointment there. There we go.
Who is going to be the player most overpaid in free agency this year, joining a new team? Could it be Jalen Brunson in New York at $25 million per year? Decent chance. So.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We've talked about this. That he's the kind of guy who he's a tough shot maker, especially like under duress with guys in his face. He's hitting shots, which is tremendous. But if that percentage drops a little bit, it can affect his overall value and effectiveness a lot. So that's going to be a challenge, and he could very well wind up being the overpaid guy in this draft. I would be a little bit nervous, and I like him, but I would be nervous if I was a team trying to give him $25 million. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I agree. Yeah, I said this. He's going to get like twice as much as Tyus Jones. If you guys go back and watch our point guard show, and I don't think he's twice as good as Tyus Jones. So, somebody asked if I watched Winning Time. I did not, and it wasn't anything Lakers stuff. I really like the book that it's based on. It's a really good book, and I saw some of the reviews and talked to people who watched it, and I really was out. I wasn't going to watch that.
I watched it. I enjoyed it. It took a while for it to pick up, though, and part of that was I was wanting to see the on-court stuff, and it was a lot of off-court.
I do think the stuff I saw, the guys who played Magic and Bird were pretty good.
Yeah, they were.
From the clips I saw. This is interesting. Somebody asked if the Lakers had the number one pick this year, who would you have taken? Who would you guys have taken?
Ooh. This team, as it's set up now.
This might be crazy, but I'm taking Jaden Ivey 1.
Really?
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
Taking Jaden Ivey 1.
For this Lakers, why?
I mean,
because I was going to say Jabari Smith, but why?
Jabari probably been okay.
I don't know. I would have gone Paulo.
It was either, honestly, for me, it was either Jaden Ivey or Chet.
Okay.
Chet, you could pair nicely with AD, and you could actually, I might be talking myself into it. I'm going to go Chet, because then that way you can take some of the burden off of Anthony Davis, and especially more offensively, let Chet be your 5 or even defensively as well. And just pairing them next to Anthony Davis. Chet, really nice rim protector, obviously. And yeah, I think that'd be a very interesting pairing. Jaden Ivey, I mean, just a guard that could play nicely next to LeBron and AD, in my opinion, and can shoot, unlike the guard we have now that's getting paid $47 million next season. So,
and Sean, not a Russ fan.
Well, he hasn't picked up his option yet. You never know. Maybe he'll forget, like Anthony Carter.
Sure. Sure.
Right.
We're going to get a parade.
No, he's going to – I bet he picks that up tomorrow or by the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to do it before the draft, right?
Yeah, he's going to wait till after the draft. Yep.
We have another question. Kenny Lofton Jr. for the Lakers. Let's be clear. He's he doesn't go by Kenny Lofton because he's not Kenny Lofton, the baseball player's son. Despite the same name, his dad is a different Kenneth Lofton. He's a good player though. 35 is probably a little high.
Yeah, I was about to say he's not on my list for 35 for sure.
Oh, here's a good question, Keith. Kyrie Irving has a 15% trade kicker. What does that mean? He kicks trades?
Sure. Yeah.
That's what he gets to kick 15% of the guys who are put in trades, right?
That's it. Yep.
That's my junior high answer.
He gets a 15% bump on his salary. That means that goes up to that is paid out by the Nets. when they trade him, and he gets wow, Knicks got 3 conditional firsts for Jang. Holy cow!
Wow.
That is crazy.
They got 3.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who had that, but and Walker Kessler is going to Minnesota. I like that pick for Minnesota.
But we've talked about this though. Like, do you really like Karl Anthony Towns at the 4 instead of the 5?
No, but he needs a backup.
But so you've got him as the back. I meant long term, but
I mean, maybe you could slot him over, but you're picking a kid in the mid-20s.
Sure.
That's not a
What was your evaluation on Walker?
I think he's good. I think he, much like most bigs in college, I felt like he was misused a little bit. I think it just gets very messy with those guys. I think they is Fred Katz is saying the Knicks are sending one of those picks to Detroit.
okay.
That they're getting the 3, but they sent the Jalen. Duren. Well, I guess they kind of didn't, right? Charlotte did. I don't know. All right, we'll see when that all falls out. Yeah, I think Kessler can play though. I think he can block some shots, can do some stuff. I like him behind Towns. I think you could maybe against the right matchups get away with them playing, a handful of minutes together too. So I don't hate it.
It's an interesting pick for them. Yeah, if you've got him playing behind Towns, I think you're fine there. We had heard they were in the mix looking at Miles Turner, looking at some bigs, looking at some other guys like that. I don't know if that's ultimately what you want to do though. Is move Towns over to the 4?
No,
I think where he's really got the advantage is at the 5.
Special. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Somebody said, where was it? It was Sean. Is it really your birthday?
What? Who said that?
Oh, never mind. Somebody made an idiot in the chat. Sorry.
We got about another month, Chad. Let's be patient.
Is there really a guy named Nikola Jovic in this draft? Yes,
there is.
I saw something. Oh, can you guys do more live streams? If you guys like live streams, Trevor and I will be going live nightly in start of free agency. So we'll each night at the end of the night, probably a little later, probably the 10, 11 p.m. Eastern range. We'll go live and recap the day. You get to see us all punchy and silly, and I mean the show's already silly, but yeah.
We'll be breaking down some picks, and it'll be a good time.
Philly is trade. Oh, Memphis is going the cap space route. I guarantee it. Then.
Oh my! Philly trading the number 23 pick for DeAnthony Melton. Man, I like DeAnthony Melton.
No, Memphis, don't break my heart twice.
Philly trading the number 23 pick for DeAnthony Melton. So Memphis going the cap space route.
Maybe. We'll see what happens with Tyus Jones.
Okay, that's true.
Memphis, please don't take anybody on my board. Please. You're already stacked. Don't get more stacked.
I mean, they just gave up DeAnthony Melton. I like DeAnthony Melton a lot. I think he's a really solid player. I was hoping years ago in the draft, I was hoping the Lakers would land him.
Man.
I wonder who are they getting? Because Philly can't just take him in.
Right. Yeah, who's Philly sending out?
Grizzlies are targeting David Roddy.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Okay. Thanks, Memphis.
You don't like him?
He wasn't on my list. I didn't think he was going to be there. You guys are hilarious in the chat. I just read some of these to myself. You guys are hilarious.
All of this cap space for Ja Raff.
Ja Raff. Let's go.
I don't understand. Like, that was so cool when they did that, when they named it the giraffe Ja Raff. Why would you trade him to Utah? That makes no sense.
I thought I saw something else that I was going to answer. I don't know. Stay on live till 35? I think so, right? The second round goes quick. We'll stay live till the Lakers pick.
Till the Lakers pick. And then we'll hop off and
then you guys can do a show about how that guy's going to be incredible and traded for I don't know who, Karl-Anthony Towns in a couple years.
Yeah, that's usually the way it goes. That's how that works out.
I love it.
Kai Soto undrafted.
Yeah, that's likely going to be the.
Yeah. That's looking like the way it's going to go.
All right. I'm getting behind, man. I gotta get in here and get these picks in. Walker Kessler off the board. And then David Roddy, right?
Yeah. David Roddy at 23.
I don't know about that one. I'm a little.
I think it's early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not big on that one, but we'll see. We'll see.
What were your thoughts on him?
I think he screams great college player, maybe not a great NBA player. He's like a tweener. He's get that. He's only like 6'5", doesn't have super great length, super strong. But like those guys always seem like they fill it up in college and then they just don't do a lot.
Danny Green going to Memphis in that deal.
Memphis?
That means Danny Green had to get his contract guaranteed.
Yeah. So what was that at? He was at about 10 million on that contract.
10 million. So that means the Grizzlies will not get will not be on cap space.
Right.
Man.
Danny Green and number 23 to Memphis to get to Anthony Melton. Well, and Danny Green, best case, maybe he comes and plays part of the way through the year. Best case.
Yeah.
Worst case, he doesn't play again.
Yeah.
Keith, where are we thinking on the Magic? Are they releasing Mo Bamba, or what's that looking like?
They're just gonna let him go.
Yeah.
In free agency. Yeah, I tend to think that's probably the way it's gonna go. I think they paid Wendell Carter last year. They're very happy with him. Now with Paolo, you don't really have a big need for Mo Bamba. Maybe Robin Lopez comes back again. He really likes being here in Orlando, so that would make sense. But yeah, I tend to think Mo will be somewhere else.
Okay, that'll be interesting. I think he'll have a pretty solid market out there.
Yeah, I would be very scared of trading or paying him a lot of money. He is I'm not sure how much he really is like big on
Basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't really like, playing basketball.
I'm trying not to be shitty. Pardon my French. I'm not going to say anything else. Just don't pay him a lot of money.
Okay.
Who are you thinking here for the Bucks potentially?
Let me go back to
Blake Wesley's kind of interesting. Maybe Andrew Nimbard. I feel like they could use a point guard, backup. Well, I mean, this is go like Ty or one of the other guys.
This is the point in the draft where you're starting to, you don't worry so much about the board or what the consensus is or any of that. You take your guy. We're getting to that stage.
Moore could be a fit here.
Yeah,
for them.
I like that.
Just because he can shoot a little bit, do some stuff. Let's see, was that it?
Ooh, okay.
Now that's an upside play. Marjon
Beauchamp.
Make sure I'm saying that right. Am I saying that right? I am, right?
That's how I pronounce it all the time. So I hope that's it.
Marjon Beauchamp. Yep, that's it.
Pronunciation guide to the rescue.
Right. That's right.
And next on my list of tricks will get you to say Doncic and say that correctly.
I've been pretty good about that for the last few weeks.
I'm working on it. I'm going to keep hammering on you. I kind of like that for Milwaukee. Why not?
Yeah.
Right. Whoever it is isn't going to play, so you might as well get somebody that you can do. You can develop.
Yeah.
So yeah. Danny Green, that's one that could really help Memphis. In like if he's able to get back, right? Remember he said that too. Like I think his exact quote was something like, "It's not like I'm a super athlete anyway."
Yeah.
So like if maybe if he could get back and he could be somebody who helps
these
playoffs.
Woj with these tweets, man. They're still cracking me up.
Yeah, man. Woj is like way behind. I'm guessing it's just an ESPN thing, right?
Well, wasn't there? It was a few seasons ago where Woj was like he wasn't allowed. I think when he first joined ESPN, he wasn't
then
allowed
none of them were going to, and then
Mark
Stein, I believe it was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do it."
Yeah, and then they all
Shams was like, "I'm doing it," and then that was the first time when Woj was like lasering in on, and
right.
The other silly synonyms.
I never understood because that's all it takes is one person does it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right? Then they're all going to.
Somebody asked what happens to Naz Reid since the Wolves drafted a center. It was Mr. DJ Lil Churro. I like that name. I like churros quite a bit. To probably no one's surprise. I don't know. It's a good question. He's gone such a cheap contract that I would probably keep him and keep him around and see how it works out and go from there. But yeah.
I mean, you can have multiple, but especially when you're talking about a guy you just drafted, especially in the 20s. That doesn't just because you took him in the 20s doesn't mean he's instantly getting minutes.
Exactly.
What are we thinking for the Spurs? Are we thinking maybe Nikola Jovic? Are we thinking EJ Liddell? Maybe. I think the center is available because I do think they could. Jalen Williams actually maybe even that may be considered.
He's already gone.
No,
remember
the Arkansas center.
Oh, the big one, the center.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the center.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, could be. It wouldn't be surprised me if this is a stash for them too. Where they already took 2 guys, right? Or did they only take 1? And they have 1 more pick. Which one is that?
No, they've taken 2. They got Malachi and they got Jeremy Sochan.
That's right. Yeah, so this one might be a stash then. Which could be like Jovic and keep him overseas for a couple of years.
Yeah. Blake Wesley. No, I don't know. I don't know if I could Blake Wesley. Just because, again, that guard room is getting overly crowded.
Yeah, they've got way too many guards now.
Oh boy. I don't think Keith's heard it. Trevor, do you see this from Mr. DJ?
No.
Oh, well, good. Never mind.
Oh.
Oh, what is this? You don't think the Suns are going to make the playoffs next year?
That was, I forget how
somebody asked for a really bold take for next year. And that was your, you decided to try to go as bold as possible and said Ayton is going to be gone. Chris Paul would have injury issues. And then maybe.
No, I said Chris Paul is going to fall, not be the same Chris Paul. I didn't say the injury thing. And I just don't trust Devin Booker to be the best player on a contending team. Not yet, anyway. I'm allowed to be proven wrong, but.
I mean, it's definitely a hot take. Is Ayton worth a max? I think he'll get it.
Yeah, if you're new to front office show, it doesn't always matter what a guy's value is. It's what he can get. And I think he's going to get the max.
Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny Jusank, undrafted. Good target though for the Lakers, but going undrafted.
So we've got 6 picks left here in the first round. Spurs on the clock at this moment.
How many players do I have left on my list? So far, I think only 1 or 2 of the guys have been picked. So we're standing good for any of the Lakers fans here.
So I've said it though. What happens is we start talking about, oh, this guy's fallen. The Lakers are going to grab this guy, and then they take somebody that's mocked like 15 spots later. That just usually happens. Different. They have their guy that they like.
Ty. Okay.
That'd be a great pick if he was somehow still there for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Ty.
Mm-hmm. Get them a point like a facilitating point guard. I think that'd be really, really good.
I'm more excited about the second round.
I don't recall.
Blake Wesley to the Spurs.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay. Whoever said that in the chat, then kudos to you.
There it is.
And there goes another off my list.
I also thinking about it with the Grizzlies too. Wouldn't surprise me if they just if they just moved Danny Green's contract on somewhere else.
They could.
Or if they just ate that deal. They've never been afraid to just eat money if they have to.
I mean, it's only 10:30. Why do I think it'd be later?
Hey, Trevor, is there a Lakers Nation live show today at 9 Pacific time? No, there's not. Those are Mondays and Wednesdays, and then Fridays we do our Fun Friday. We do our weekend kickoff at 2 o'clock Pacific time. Sharif O'Neal was bad at LSU. Is he an undrafted free agent picked up by the Lakers, or is he a second rounder? I think he goes undrafted.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that he'll be in somebody's G League team, but Celtics fans are going berserk because Kevin Durant tweeted that it's a wings league, and then Jaylen Brown liked the tweet. So people are like getting fired up.
What does it mean?
Stop overreacting, folks.
Oh, man. We saw what DeJounte Murray was doing. Tweeting out the eyeball emojis and all that kind of stuff.
Here we go. Picks the Knicks acquired. 2023 protected first from Detroit, 2023 protected first from Washington, 2023 protected first from Denver.
3 2023 first. Now, those protections, what those are, that matters a ton.
Correct. I'll give them to you. Give me 1 second. I got them right here.
They have their first round pick next year too, right?
The Knicks?
Yeah.
And they have Dallas's if it's 11 to 30. All right. So the Denver pick is protected 15 to 30. Or I'm sorry, 1 to 14. So lottery protected. That one probably goes. Detroit's pick is protected 1 through 18. And the Washington pick is lottery protected as well. So a little more question about those two.
So you probably get the Denver one.
Yeah.
You don't get the Detroit one.
Yeah. Detroit,
Washington.
Washington, let's see.
Who knows?
Probably not going to get that one either.
Probably not. But what do they become after that? Is it just convert to 2 seconds right away, or does it become protected?
No, the Detroit and Washington ones go out forever. The Denver one goes out a couple more years.
Okay.
The Detroit and Washington ones are there, and there's sliding protections on those two too. If anybody is really interested, I'll drop it in the chat.
Okay.
The link to the Real GM pick tracker. This is not going to be updated with tonight's moves. Just know that because it doesn't get updated till stuff's official. But The link I just dropped in the chat will take you guys to the best pick tracker on the planet.
And again, to reiterate the point, Wendell Moore to Houston. I actually really
26.
like that pick.
Oh yeah, Shams. Okay.
Sean's got that one.
Good. Now it's time to start piling up wings and shooters right around your other guys. So
Yeah. So what is it? It's Jabari, Wendell Moore. Who'd they get 17 again?
Let me see.
Tari Eason.
Tari
Oh,
Eason.
man, that's a steal. Man, what a draft for the Rockets.
Now we've got the Mavs on the clock.
No, that was
nope.
No,
That was
no.
Houston.
Yeah, that was Houston.
Houston, remember
No,
the Mavs
yeah.
right.
traded that
Right.
pick?
Yep. That's
So
right. I got
we're
you.
actually to the Miami Heat.
Right. Now we got the Heat.
And that
I
pick
wish,
was-
and I know the trade isn't done, but I wish they would just update them on. Like
Let me
I'm going off the NBA site.
Let me tell you guys something that I learned. This was probably about 7-8 years ago. What happens because trades until they're official, right? The NBA won't update. There's not even like a back end thing where people can see this stuff. With that. So what ends up happening in those why did Woj say it's Minnesota? Did Minnesota get that pick in the Eason trade? Or something happened there? That's gotta
Houston
be
is
rough,
trading
right?
Wendell Moore to Dallas.
To Dallas.
Right.
So what was the point of that Christian Wood deal
Houston.
again?
Yeah. That has to be.
No,
flipped.
he's got that backwards.
It's backwards. Dallas is sending that to Houston.
Because Houston has that pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, there is no like back end board where the NBA even has this. Like, here's who owns what pick. Every organization assigns somebody to track all this stuff through tweets, and that's how they keep track of the picks.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So stuff like what just happened likely is making somebody very angry.
Miami. They're going to draft the most Miami Heat player in the world right here. Maybe Kendall Brown. That could be a good fit. Potential replacement to PJ Tucker.
Yeah, it could be. The Blake Wesley pick to San Antonio. That is the pick they got from the Celtics in the Derek White trade.
Oh, that's right.
Minnesota acquired the pick from Houston via the Christian Wood trade with Dallas. What?
How does Minnesota get that pick?
Wait, what?
Minnesota acquired the pick from Houston via the Christian Wood trade. So Houston sends this pick to Minnesota.
And
what does Houston get? So Minnesota traded to get 26.
A big hug and a hearty handshake.
This is. Do you recall a draft being this confusing before in terms of who has what pick or how it
no, this is definitely a mess.
Okay, so Shams now corrects the original tweet, I believe.
Sam Aiken with Super Chat said, was at a workout this summer with Josh Christopher, Terrence Mann, Sharif O'Neal, Cameron Fletcher. he looked lost. I'm assuming you mean Sharif O'Neal, and can barely compete with them, was dribbling off his feet and breaking shots. I mean, based on what we've seen, that I didn't see the workout, but
if the 2023 Detroit first doesn't convey in 2027, it becomes the Detroit 2027 second rounder. Okay, so he's just talking about
first.
Okay,
they do. It goes out years. Interesting. Is the first round over? No, first round is not over yet.
Nope.
A few more picks.
Few more picks, Lakers fans. I know that's where we're all waiting for, right, Keith?
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Okay. Sham says Houston via Dallas at number 26 will be Wendell Moore, and he will be traded to Minnesota. So what did Minnesota give?
29 and 2 future seconds per Woj.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yep. There we go.
All right. So Minnesota will ultimately end up with Wendell Moore. And Houston will get 29 in a couple seconds. All right. So Minnesota came away today then with Walker, Kessler, and Wendell Moore Jr. Not bad.
No, not bad.
For 2 picks in the 22 and 26. When you started the night with the 19th pick, that's pretty good work.
How would you guys feel about paying Watson to the Lakers at 35? Trevor brought this up earlier that although Peyton Watson isn't technically one of my guys or whatever, you have to have some trust in the Lakers scouting department. So where if they pick a guy that you might not have envisioned being selected there, you have to just trust the Lakers scouting department, because that's honestly one of the few parts of the organization that I think we can use the record of previous years that they hit well on these guys late in the draft. So I don't really care who it is at 35. I do. I have my preferences, but I'm not going to be mad regardless.
Yeah, they have a history of finding players. So we'll see. I mean, I'm just, for selfish reasons, I'm just happy they got the 35th pick, because then that's another player to watch at Summer League.
Yeah, there we go.
Right?
I had it on mute, but apparently Adam Silver announced the Jalen Duren to the Knicks, and that's got like everything all screwed up.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I've got it on mute as well, so I didn't see that. Okay. Trevor, I sent you a DM on Twitter with a possible trade scenario. Okay. I remember seeing rumors about Brooklyn wanting to move.
James Harden.
I've gotten a lot of DMs over the last 24 hours with a ton of different people saying, what about this trade? What about that trade? Let's see.
I guarantee you, Trevor, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of them are Russell Westbrook trades, aren't they?
Oh, he's got Joe Harris as JH.
Oh, okay.
He's got Patty Mills, Kyrie, Joe Harris going out.
There's Nikola Jovic
Up
to Miami.
Is Hayward, Oubre, and Rozier coming in for those 3. I don't know. I don't know if Nets would do that or not. I'm curious to see what the Nets actually want in return.
What was it? Tell me again.
So it's Gordon Hayward, Oubre, and Terry Rozier to the Nets for Patty Mills, Joe Harris, and Kyrie.
Just Nets Hornets?
No, Lakers are in it too. Russ would be sent out, and THT would be sent out.
Why do the Hornets do that?
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Yeah, it would essentially be the Hornets. All the Hornet stuff is going to the Nets. All the Nets stuff goes to the Lakers. All the Lakers stuff goes to the Hornets.
Yeah, I don't see why the Hornets get involved in that.
Yeah. I mean, they would shed a lot of future salary, but that would be about it.
Okay, there's Bobby Marks.
Whew, I'm gonna have some work to do updating stuff.
Some work through just figuring out exactly what happened.
Yeah, where all these picks landed and everything.
Yeah.
Tinder is overpriced. Does Tinder cost money?
No idea. I missed the Tinder era.
Keith, man.
I don't know. I'm an old married guy. I thought it was free.
Oh man.
I honestly I did too.
Sean is appalled at how old we are.
Oh man.
Meanwhile, you're too
considering-
young to be on Tinder.
I just missed
Thanks,
the
Keith.
Tinder era in my my dating days.
I didn't just miss. I almost missed the internet era. My days. Trevor has the longest hair among the three. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Might have the most hair.
Although I did just get a haircut, so
truth.
I can't be on Twitter. Is that what's going on now, chat? Jeez. Ouch.
This draft irks me. Is something about to happen in the offseason? I mean, in theory, like it's been pretty busy. Like we've already had like I don't know.
kind of, it hasn't been like fireworks.
Yeah, there's no like super huge blockbusters,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I mean, I've lost track, but I think we're up to at least what 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 9 trades so far.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Of course, they're playing the Nikola Jokic clip for Jovic.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's unfair to the kid.
Yeah.
I
Like,
hate when they do that.
I mean, we get it, right? It's all. I mean, we all get it. It's funny, but all right. So this pick now, Golden State, right at 28, the champs,
Yeah.
and then we've got Houston, and then Denver. So we're down to the last 3 picks of the first round.
Yep. 3 more. And then I think the draft takes a short break between.
Very short.
Very
though. It's
short. Like just they go to
commercial break. Yeah.
Yeah, they go to
And then,
commercial
Mark
and
Tatum
all that
comes
stuff.
out and does this thing.
And then as you get further in the second round, they just start going to commercial during the picks.
Yep.
They do the NFL thing.
And it
yeah.
cuts. It goes down to 5 minutes too, right? If I remember right.
3 minutes, I think, right?
3
Because
minutes.
it's
yeah.
5 anyway.
5
Yeah.
and then 3. Yeah. It used to be.
Thank
10 and
goodness
5.
it's not 10 like the NFL.
Yeah, it used to be 10 and 5, but yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we at? 1,700 people in here. You guys are
Wow.
the best.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm kind
See the
of.
super
I get
chat
where
here?
people get frustrated with the whole Woj and Shams like tweeting everything out. I think it's I think it's I've become used to it now.
Yeah.
So like it's like I'm just gonna live on Twitter instead of really watching on TV. To be completely honest, I had a baseball game on for most of it.
It's part
'Cause
of
I'm
how
not
we
listening
consume
anyway.
the draft now, right? I mean, it's just kind of how it is. Like, because here's the problem: like, you can't just not have the Twitter aspect of it because you miss all the trade stuff. Because what
Yeah,
gets put
you
on
miss-
TV,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not really what you get on Twitter. So you can't just not have Twitter on and look at it and just watch the TV because otherwise that would be an option. So I understand why people are frustrated because they don't really have a choice.
Yep.
But still,
The
Wow.
Thunder. Oh, Patrick
Patrick
Baldwin.
Baldwin.
I love it. I love this pick for the Warriors. Damn it. That's such a good pick for them.
Pete Toll, thanks for the comment. That's a cool comment.
Yeah, no doubt, Sean. I want to,
oh yeah,
Sean. What we need to do too is get you on earlier next year ahead of the draft.
yeah.
I'm down.
So we're not doing all of this on the fly.
Woj versus Shams is the battle of Twitter.
It kind of is, yeah.
It's the battle within the battle. The draft
And
battle
it's
is
going to
taking place.
re-engage the next little bit too. Right?
That's right. And then I
Um,
love the right after the draft, the undrafted free agents, because those come like fast and furious. You know,
Yeah.
Not
those
even.
are
It's
fun.
like with like 4 picks left.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the second round.
NBA analyst, Civil War. There's my Marvel analogy. You
I
got
like
Team
it.
Shams, you have Team Woj. There you go.
Somebody said talk about the Warriors salary situation. They're really
They've been
expensive.
asking that for a while.
And they're probably going to be in $400 million range. So yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, there's a good one, Trevor. You want to get that one from Josiah?
So let's see. Why would the 76ers want Kyrie? I've seen reports on teams he would go to. Wouldn't that cause a rift between Harden and the organization? Harden left because of him. So
I don't think the 76ers want Kyrie. I
Flip
think
that.
Kyrie wants them, right?
Yep, that was it.
Yeah.
That was the report.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Woj was careful to note that not all of those teams were pursuing or so it's probably, the 76ers that were not pursuing him because like why would you go get James Harden and then bring in the guy? It would be like the Kings saying what we really need right now is Miles Turner. Let's bring him. Let's put him next to Sabonis because
exactly.
we've seen that didn't work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and after all the nonsense that went on between the two of them too, the Thunder have announced the Ousmane Dieng trade from the Knicks for the 3 picks, so that is done. So we're going to start getting and seeing some of these done here.
The chat's saying that Team Shams and the NBA analyst Civil War, they would win. They would beat Team Woj.
It's not. I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a Marvel comp.
Oh, Ty Washington
to Houston.
Houston. Yeah.
Okay.
They're focused on it.
That's a good pickup. More of a true point guard for them than what Kevin Porter Jr. is.
Yeah.
Or Jalen Green. Both of those guys are probably better off the ball. But
agreed.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh my gosh. Somebody sent me a trade that King Joker's Entertainment. I see the trade that you sent me on Instagram, but it's a 5-team trade.
Oh, God. All right. Well, guys, this was fun. Thanks for having me.
Like 3-team trades are really, really, really difficult to pull off. 4-team trades are almost unheard of. 5-team trade? It's the Lakers, the Hornets, the Pacers, the Nets, and the Wizards.
Oh, here we go. Sam says if one of you can predict the Lakers pick, I'll send a $50 super chat.
Okay, we all need to pick somebody different then.
Yes. Yeah, that's key. We got to play the odds here.
Yep.
All right. Who are you saying, Sean?
Max Christie.
Well, no, let's not lock it in yet. Let's
we gotta talk through this.
Yeah, we are. All right, cool. My bad.
Smart.
All right.
Sam did not give any kind of time.
Nope.
Limit.
Let's see.
We're holding you accountable, Sam.
All right. The guy did. I mean, he did do a super chat. So let's.
I quit. Yeah.
What's his 5-team trade?
The 5-team trade.
I mean, what are the Lakers getting and giving up?
That's all you want to know?
They're giving up Russ.
Well, yeah, of course. The Lakers are giving up. Looks like Russ and THT. The Lakers are getting Kyrie and KCP.
So the Nets,
Where's
Wizards.
Russ going?
To the Hornets. And the Hornets are sending out Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward. They're getting Russ and THT.
And that's it? No picks?
I mean, it doesn't say picks on here.
Yeah.
I would assume there's picks involved, but then they've got the Pacers. Pacers are getting Hayward and Kyle Kuzma. Sending out Turner and Brogdon. Nets yeah. Wizards are getting Kelly Oubre. And Terry Rozier. Yeah. in exchange for Kuzma and KCP. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be all kinds of picks involved in all of this. I mean, it takes one team to go, no. Out of 5, like that's the problem.
Sam has spoken.
Voting closes before the second round.
Okay, so we got to get it in now then, right? Because we're down to the last pick. All right, let's go. Everybody's gonna pick somebody different.
Yeah.
Trevor, what's your pick?
I'm thinking. I wanted to go with just guys they've worked out. That doesn't always mean everything. Sometimes they have guys that they don't. Kendall Brown?
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay, who are you going with, Sean?
Damn, you took. Yeah, I'll go Max Christie. I'm gonna go Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm afraid this guy might not make it to them. This is my only challenge. I want to go Jaden Hardy, but I'm not sure he'll still be there.
Have to think somebody would just pick him for the upside at some point, right?
Denver, Indiana, Orlando, Toronto, and OKC. No, I'm gonna go with Jalen Williams.
Okay.
All right. All right. So there's our guesses.
Sam, you tracking? Jalen Williams, Max Christie, and Kendall Brown.
Let's see.
I would.
Why do I don't? Do I look physically angry talking about the Lakers?
No.
you guys think I hate the Lakers so much? It's not even remotely true.
All right, let's see who goes next. Now we got to hope that our guys don't go off the board
that
here.
They don't go.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it. Now we're being awful and rooting against them.
I really hope the guys that we pick don't have their dreams come true right now. Peyton Watson at 30. Okay.
Denver.
All right, it's Peyton Watson. All right, we're still in play. All right, that's the first round.
There we go.
First round.
Fun first round. Not like didn't get
not overly.
I mean, it got weird.
I wouldn't say
it definitely got weird.
I don't like that pick by Denver. I think that's a reach.
Oh, we're talking about like value in the spot. Yeah, I definitely think it's a reach.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I don't know. That just seems odd. Braun and Watson too. Well, I mean, I don't know.
The Lakers have this. Now I'm like second guessing everything. The Lakers have this history of just taking guys where you're like, that guy's going to go, should have gone 15 picks later, and then it ends up working out. And
yeah,
we'll see.
I thought about like a whole, like I thought about Kennedy Chandler.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one too.
I was trying to look at like, I should have looked up like who is LeBron tweeted about.
Who's LeBron tweeted about? Somebody just said killing a man's dreams for $50.
Times are tough. Have you seen how much it costs to fill up your car with gas right now?
Yeah.
It's not even like a half a tank.
Expensive.
Ooh, I forgot about EJ Liddell. Yeah, that's a good one.
I looked at EJ Liddell too. I mean, you got Stanley Johnson and Wendy Gabriel. What do you need another undersized
LeBron, AD? Yeah.
This draft is deep. This draft has a lot of really good players in it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Very deep draft.
Will the Clippers beat on the Lakers again this season? That's life sent that in. We need to take that.
No comment. Next question.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to answer it without answering that part of it. Well, I'll answer that part of it, and I will say yes, but only because I think the Clippers are going to be really, really good.
And they could be, especially with the Suns fall from grace in the playoffs. They may be the top team in the conference.
Cough,
Because we just
Suns
cracked
not
over
making playoffs.
1,800 people
There you go.
watching at once. So that's pretty great. I know I said it earlier, but I want to get it in before we get all crazy with rooting against players to be picked. The support we receive on Front Office Show, unbelievable from y'all. It's absolutely incredible. We love you guys so much for everything you do for us here, supporting us, watching the show. We know we crank out long episodes on a regular basis, but the fact that even when we did the shorter ones, we heard people didn't really want them. They wanted us to go back to the longer ones. So, the timestamps are not going to happen, but we have the little banners now.
Yeah,
so
the banners at the bottom. Like, you don't need the timestamps.
Yeah, just skip through the banners and you'll find your topic you're interested in or not interested in.
Even the Lakers Nation account tweeted out a bunch of the guys too.
Front Office Show is the best kept secret on YouTube. Stop keeping the secret.
Yeah, don't keep it a secret.
Right,
then
keep it a
tell
secret.
everybody.
Yeah,
Tell everybody.
Yeah. Don't get anything out of keeping it a secret. It's funny that this pick is OKC, but it's really, I hate the whole hat foolishness stuff.
Yep.
That's the first highlight you went to? Like he scored off a broken inbounds lob play?
That's
name is showing it on
something.
my
Yeah. I mean, I don't dislike Peyton Watson. I think he can play. I just think that's a reach.
Yeah.
You should tell your grandma about this account for her birthday, Michael.
Yeah.
Trade that second for KJ Martin. Yeah, if that was on the table.
Jonathan Gavoni, best players available. Kennedy Chandler, A.G. Liddell, Jaden Hardy, Trevor Keels. Okay. Jalen Williams. Kendall Brown's in there.
Russ
Who's your
did
pick
not
again,
get
Sean?
traded. Russ can't be traded today.
Max Christie.
Max Christie. And he's not on Gavoni's list there.
Well, what does Gavoni not quit? All right.
Thoughts on us getting Jalen Williams?
Yeah, I think that would make us $50 richer.
That's right.
So I'm in for that.
He said so. Russ didn't get traded. Russ can't be traded right now. He hasn't opted into his contract yet.
Keith, I know you said you think he probably does it tomorrow by the end of the weekend, though.
Yeah, that would be my guess. I mean, there's just no reason for him to wait then.
He has until the 29th.
Yeah, he has until the 29th, but it's funny because they it's what somebody always said to me is when you have a no-brainer option, pick it up because the last thing you need is to get caught without cell service or something like that, or to walk out your front door and get run over by a bus. You would like to
jeez
have that locked in. So I was like, come on, Shams, stop. Shams is going to have this dude on his live show, and then he's just going to be tweeting while he's talking to the kid.
Okay, so this is me showing my Raptors Nation side, but Raptors draft Andrew Nembhard, please.
It's going to happen.
Canadian kid, right?
Yeah.
We are now at the 3-hour mark of the live stream.
Hasn't felt like 3 hours, so thank you guys.
Keith has a LeBron jersey in his closet. No, because girl mentioned wear tank tops.
I wear tank tops all the time.
Yeah, I know,
like,
but you're
every day.
You're jacked and swole. I'm not.
Yeah, right.
Damn it, it's the Pacers. Okay.
Oh, there it is. They're focused on Andrew Nembhard.
Just say they're going to draft him already. Well, thank you, Shams.
See, Shams, Usman Jang joining my live show. Usman Jang, what do you think about Andrew Nembhard to the Pacers? Kenny Chandler's good, man. He's tough. That's I'm a little surprised he's still on. I thought he'd go in the second round, but he should go soon.
Early.
Yeah.
How many phones do you think Shams and Woj have?
Man.
So the only time I went to the draft 1 year live, and I hated it. It sucked because you can't tell what's going on. And this was like before Twitter was like as big as it is.
Yeah.
Woj was a freaking machine. I've never seen anything like it. He was working 2 different phones, plus doing stuff on a laptop. Like it was crazy. Like it was just an absolute machine. Like I'd never seen anything like that. That was probably like 6 or 7 years ago now.
So the
So it was
Yahoo days for
Yeah,
Woj.
yeah, he was still with Yahoo for sure. It was pre-ESPN.
Matt Riggs, Colin Cowherd says AD is declining. I think if AD takes the offseason seriously and stays focused, he can return to form he had in the bubble. What's your opinion? I think he probably shot a little above his head in the bubble. Like he was hitting everything.
Mhm.
I don't want to say that, well, he's had issues because he hasn't taken the offseason seriously. I don't think we've got a lot of evidence of that necessarily being the case, but can he be better than he was the last 2 seasons? Yes, absolutely. Will he shoot 1,000,000% from mid-range like he did in that run? Probably not, but I think he can be better than what we saw last season for sure.
Caleb Houston, Orlando.
Oh,
Back to
okay.
the Michigan well.
All right.
Okay, just for this,
our picks are still on the board, guys.
I know, but I'm starting to get worried about like Jaden Hardy and Kennedy Chandler a little bit.
Yeah.
Jaden Hardy just seems like too big of a project for.
Curious to see what the Raptors do here. Well, what are they gonna do? Is this Kennedy Chandler? Because I think the Raptors could really use a guard, unless they go Jalen Williams.
As just so you guys know, we are going to stay through the Lakers pick.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll do a little bit of wrap up on the back end of that, and then we're gonna step away. Trevor and I will tomorrow. We're going to do a full 30-team wrap up show, so it'll be a long show. We'll talk about all 30 teams, what they didn't do in the draft, because some teams may not do anything at all, and we'll you're just kind of run through those ones very quickly, and then we'll get into other stuff. But then we'll have more details on all the trades and those kind of things, so we'll have a better sense. But just so everybody knows what's coming up, and that'll give you a good long show through Friday and into the weekend.
Into the weekend, yep. Plenty of time to listen to that one, and I'm still gonna be spending the next couple of weeks on pins and needles, waiting for trades and free agency and all that kind of stuff. That's the world we live in this time of year.
Yep.
Come on, Raptors. You can make the pick.
Just waiting.
For anybody who is watching on TV, if you're watching the ABC portion, that's about to end, and it's now just going to be on only ESPN. So, somebody asked, "Why does the ESPN coverage suck?" Or is it Davis Painter? You can get that one, Trevor. Is it me, or does the ESPN coverage suck? I don't particularly like their coverage. I think they've kind of gone in a direction I don't agree with some of it. I do the little bit I've seen. I think Malika Andrews is doing a great. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. Is doing a great job hosting, but the rest is blah.
Yeah,
Like I don't understand Kendrick Perkins being up there. He said last year in the middle of the draft, I don't even watch college basketball. So
Yeah.
are you there then?
It's entertainment. That's what
right.
it is.
That's what it is for them. It's
Yeah.
not about providing.
You're here with us. You're on the good show.
Yeah,
That's
you're on
right.
the good show.
You're in the good place.
Do the Magic
Not about-
release Mobamba? Diego Gomez asked that super chat. It's not about releasing him, but I do think they'll let him go in free agency.
All right, so Mark Tatum's on TV now, but of course we've got
Mark Tatum's on
coming in.
TV, and we're already 2 picks into
We're
the
already
second.
2 picks in,
we
yep.
tweeted out, so.
Oh man. Mr. Moves, I love this show. Yeah, I love watching this show too. They're awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
We did kind of let the front runners, frontliners, front officers. We did kind of
Whatever we call them.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Throw it to us. We got a little bit more time here. Yeah. The Lakers should draft me and make me their floor general. They can be at the top of the lottery next year.
For New Orleans.
For New Orleans, right? Yeah.
Oh, Bontemps with what the Knicks did tonight. Trade 11th pick to OKC. OKC trades 3 firsts to New York. New York then trades 23 and Denver 4 seconds to Charlotte for the 13th pick. New York trades 13th pick and Kemba for Milwaukee's 25 first. New York trades 11. Kemba 4 seconds gets 3 future firsts. This is a messy draft night for New York. Out of remaining people, who do you think is a better pick for the Lakers and why? I mean, we all kind of made our picks.
I think
honestly, I would go with Jaden Hardy. I just think he's got a ton of upside. So I think I would go with him.
Oh, is he a clutch client?
That's a good question. Let me look.
If he is, that's
oh boy.
If he is, then I blundered.
There's your pick.
He is.
You should have said Jaden Hardy then as your pick.
That's the pick. That's the pick.
All right. If Jaden Hardy is going to the Lakers, Raptors make me happy and take Max Christie. Oh wait, no, never mind. That doesn't make too much sense for him. Never mind. Do whatever, Raptors.
You're not going to see a major Lakers trade today. There's nothing to be done today. So, how do you grade the Knicks moves? I'm not ready yet. I've got to really,
digest
to that because I'm not sure. Tomorrow, though, it will not be a live show tomorrow. By the way,
no.
If anybody's wondering, it'll just be the two of us recording.
Almost 2,000 people in here now. You guys are awesome.
Crazy. Yeah. At one point, it was just under, I think, when I looked. So this is great. What pick are we on? That's a good question. We're really on pick 32. But yeah, that's all. Yeah, we haven't seen pick 33. Has not been tweeted yet. Masai not talking, I guess. Right?
Yeah. Not letting anybody know what's going on.
There's a kid in the draft who I really like. Hyunjun Lee out of Davidson.
Yep.
This kid can shoot the crap out of the ball. So I think if he doesn't get drafted, he should be a priority two-way guy for somebody. He can really, really shoot the ball.
He also kind of reminds me of like a Max Strus defensively, to where like if he's your worst defender on the floor, that's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's pretty tough.
Yeah. Is always in the right spots. Good instinct. Not really the best athlete, which kind of hurts him, but smart player. Trevor, from a comment, I need as much of a detailed analysis on whomever the Lakers draft, gentlemen.
We will do that.
I'll have a breakdown on for you guys, for the Lakers fans in here. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Let's see here. Malik Monk posts Lakers photos on his Instagram story. Can I take that as a sign of his possibly returning? I wouldn't take too much on social media as a sign of anything. Yeah. Players like to play around this time of year and everything, but yeah, I try not to read too much into that.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, it's I mean, and this is, I promise I'm not picking on the Lakers. Trevor knows this. It's just going to be very hard for them to keep him. They can't pay him more than the taxpayer mid-level. And in this free agent class, he's probably going to get more than that.
And in most of my like ideal off seasons that we've done, most of my mock off seasons, I've had them not bringing him back because I've spent the money elsewhere because I've had other skill sets that I thought that they needed more than what Malik Monk brought. Not that he wasn't great last year. He was excellent, but especially for the price. But there's other areas of need beyond a bench scorer.
The time just ran out on Toronto. We don't even have a pick yet. So that's.
Well, they forfeit the pick then. That's it.
Would you imagine that?
No pick for you.
Remember that happened in the NFL? 2 years in a row, right?
I think so.
For the Vikings, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody will tell us.
Can the Lakers do a sign and trade for Monk?
Like trade him away in a sign and trade? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
they could.
Why do I keep picking on the Lakers? I just said I'm not picking on the Lakers.
I mean, Keith is right. I mean, I don't think Malik Monk's coming back.
Christian Koloko.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, our picks are still
Guys,
on the board.
we blew it. We could have had $50. We should have done Jaden.
It's a Jaden Hardy. Yep.
Yeah.
Sam is going to be $50.
I didn't realize the clutch sports thing. If the clutch sports thing, if I knew that, then yeah, it would have been easy.
Okay, selfishly, I want one of our picks now, even though Jaden Hardy, I wouldn't be mad at it.
I'm gonna go ahead and start looking for Jaden Hardy highlight reels to tweet out.
Somebody ask, can the Lakers buy another second round pick? Yeah, they absolutely can.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Burgess says, you guys are excellent. Thanks for the content and good vibes always. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
What does it take for Keith to convert to the Lakers? The Lakers hiring me.
Yeah, money.
I lived in Southern California for a while, and it didn't happen then. So I lived there the summer that the Celtics made the KG trade. And then I moved midway through that season back to the East Coast. This is not a Lakers channel.
How much did the Lakers spend on the 35th pick? We think they spent about $2.1 million on the pick.
Mm-hmm. That's what Eric Pincus said, right? Or was it Jake Fisher?
Yeah, because he did some investigative work and figured out that Orlando had already accepted so much money via trade that that was the most they could accept. So he guessed that's probably what it was.
Yep. Yeah, it's but they still got, I think they still have like 2.8 something left.
They've still have some money left.
I wouldn't be surprised if they buy another pick.
Yeah.
Oh, Jalen Williams, my guy, is off the board.
Oh.
Ooh.
Thunder.
All
right. We only have 2 chances now. Keats is off the board.
And the Lakers are up.
All right. What are we doing on Lake Show? This is totally Jaden Hardy, isn't it?
It's got to be Jaden Hardy.
It's going to be.
Lakers pleasantly surprise us.
All right. So you picked Max, Christie, and Trevor. Who did you pick?
Kendall Brown.
Was it Jaden Hardy, I think?
Yes, it was Jaden Hardy.
It was Jaden Hardy.
No,
yeah.
Jaden Hardy.
Yeah. No, it was Kendall Brown, right?
Yeah, it was Kendall Brown.
To go while we wait for the Lakers pick to come in. Yeah, I think that there is a good chance that they buy another pick because you've got all these teams that have, like Minnesota already added 2 guys. They've got 3 second rounders. That'd be a great spot to go buy another second round pick.
Come on, Shams. Seeing some EJ Liddell, seeing some Max Christie's in the chat. Some people in the chat just want a wing.
I'm assuming it's going to be. I'm already watching Hardy film over here. So.
Oh boy, what's this? Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, more excited for NBA free agency or Thor: Love and Thunder? NBA free agency.
Yeah, NBA free agency.
Yeah. And I'm excited for Thor, but
yeah, me too. By the way, Trevor, Doctor Strange is now
It's streaming.
on,
I
Disney
know.
Yeah,
Plus,
streaming
yeah.
now.
Yep. I'm gonna check it out.
Have that done
Hard-
by the end of the weekend, please.
Oh, I'll get it done.
All right.
Hardy would make no sense to me. We need wings.
I actually
Jaden
kind of agree with
Hardy.
that. So I'm
I mean-
being
He's a wing-ish.
pick Sean Davis. That'll be a waste of a pick. Unless you're putting me in the video room. If that's the case, go ahead, Lakers, hire me.
Yeah, 2,111 people here right now. Everybody came to watch the Lakers.
Go watch the Lakers pick.
Yeah.
Jaden Hardy is 6'4", but I mean it's the clutch sports thing. That's just it. It's the clutch thing.
All right,
Thunder
the
take
Thunder
Jalen Williams.
pick is done now, so gotta be moving here. Let's see.
Come on, Rob.
We're on pins and needles.
Rob. We already know Shams has the scoop anyway, so Shams just tweet it out.
Wouldn't be surprised if Chris Haynes gets it first.
Yes.
Silent DCM, I'm already sweating. So there we go. I'm scared to look at my phone.
Max
Um,
Christie.
Hey!
Yes!
Hey! Sean called it.
Good
There
job,
we go.
Sean.
Sean got it. There we go.
Hey up, Sam.
He is on it.
Hey up. Are you out to chat, my friend?
Jeez.
Oh, Sean gets the pick.
Oh, lock
Sean
it
and
in.
Sean called the Lakers head coach too
I'm
months
on a
ago.
roll right now.
Look at this guy.
Come on, let's go. Film breakdown in a couple of days. Give me a second. Let's go.
Wait, the Thunder took both Jalen Williamses.
Oh, that shouldn't be allowed.
Let's go, Sam. I'm waiting on it. I'll stay here all night.
I've got nothing better to do.
No, that's a good pick. I like Max Christie.
6'6".
Yeah, he's got some stuff. He's a little different look than what the Lakers have at other guys at that. Not like they're filled with wings, but athletic. Tough. So yeah, I like that one.
Sean, I know you're happy. What do you like about this pick?
All right.
Besides it being the guy you picked.
Shea
Yeah,
Jordan asks too, by the way, what is Christie's skill set? Please explain. So have at it.
Yeah. So Max Christie, you're looking at a guy that, again, he didn't shoot well from three, but I am confident that his 3-point shooting will get better. And I think, man, I had a first-round grade on him too. So I think this is just incredible value. I'm trying to find my daggone scouting report so I can give you guys a more in-depth. There we go. Found it. Yay. He just fits the mold, in my opinion, of a 3-and-D wing. I think he could come in right away and be a quality defender for the Lakers. He's only 19, which is insane. I think he's listed as 6'6", but he can make an impact with his all-ball defense. He uses his size and his length of his arms really, really well. And he can space the floor out as well. So does a good job of fighting over screens. I'm excited, and I can't wait to dive into his film to share with you guys. Man, let's go. I'm hyped.
All right. There it is.
Sean, are you a time traveler? No, I'm just on the roll right now, I guess. Got Darvin right. A couple of things. Hey, man. I'll take it.
All right. Got it.
Looking to see where Sam Vecini, my personal favorite draft guy, had
Max.
Max Christie 27.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's why I'm so
35.
pumped. I had a first-round grade on him.
Yeah.
You should have went first round.
I'll give you the quick highlights of what Sam says a lot of what Sean said. Moves well off the ball.
Yep.
Does a good job with one dribble relocation shots. Has good rhythm with his jump shot. His pull-ups off catch and shoot. One dribble pull-ups off catch and shoot or immediate catch and shoot are good. Hit a lot of tough shots. Not a super duper athlete, but it says his toughness has been questioned, but Sam says I don't buy that criticism, but it's followed him around. I do remember Tom Izzo getting into him, but Tom Izzo gets into everybody. He yelled at Draymond Green. So he's a terrible finisher, doesn't have a lot of vertical pop. So that's definitely true. Probably my guess on him, and from what I watch, and I will admit I didn't watch a super lot of film, is if he develops a good 3-and-D guy, is what he'll probably turn into.
Yep. And Keon Ellis, the chat's talking about him. You can still get him. I think he's going to be undrafted, especially the way the board's kind of shaping out with guys like Jaden Hardy and some of these other guys. Man, let's go.
Got your guy.
I saw somebody said the Lakers don't need.
I saw that too.
They don't need 19-year-olds. Here's the thing, though. They're going to fill out the depth with older players, just like they did last year. So it's going to be a very similar process. So you do want to get something. Look, there he is.
Jeez.
I had to wait for it to be official. You're a wizard, Sean. Sam, you're a stand-up guy, Sam.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you. That made that much more fun, honestly.
Yeah,
Just the lead up, even if we hadn't got it.
Yeah, that was way more fun than it would have been otherwise.
For sure.
Yeah, you're Sam though. You know what? A lot of people would say that, and Sam came through. You know what? Let's take Sam's 50, and let's find some like charity in the Los Angeles area, and we'll give it to that.
Yeah, sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah,
we'll figure something that does like sports for kids or something.
Yeah,
sports equipment for kids or something like that.
I like it.
That's what we'll do with that, because that's way. I mean, none of us need $50 that bad, so that way we all had fun with it.
Yeah.
Chad, let us know what you think about that.
I like that idea.
I mean, we're gonna do it anyway, but I don't really care what you think about it.
He just doesn't care. I love it.
You're insane, Sean. Record predictions? Lottery numbers?
I'm not going that far.
Predict Kai Soto. He's going to be with somebody, but
yeah.
Here we go. Dallas is going to get Jaden Hardy. Now, this is where all these trades are going to start pouring in.
Yep.
Where we're going to get a whole bunch of stuff like this. So, Portland, that pick was actually Detroit's, right? Or will be Detroit's, I guess. They're saying that 36. They took Gabriel Procida. He's overseas player, so that's probably a stash, I'm guessing. And then Dallas, why not? Jaden Hardy. You don't need him right now. Develop him, stick him at the end of your bench, and go. I like that.
Why not? All right. Well,
that's going to close us out. Yeah.
Yep.
Sean, thank you so much, man. It was a much better show having you here. Been a blast with you, hanging out with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on here, and thank you everybody who joined us. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
on draft night, and remember, there's more coming. There's more coming. Like the undrafted free agents are coming up after the draft. That's going to be coming out. There's going to be some trades and things like that that'll happen here.
I'm going to go on record and say the Lakers buy another pick too.
All right.
Yeah,
see what happens.
Buy one more pick tonight.
Fingers crossed.
Coming up stuff. Live shows coming at the beginning of free agency. First one will be on the 30th. Definitely. So a week from tonight, we'll be live recapping the first day of free agency. We'll have a lot of fun with that. Long show tomorrow, 30-team full draft recap show.
Jeez.
That we'll put together. So we'll do that. And then we're going to, and then our normal shows next week. We do have the other free agent previews to do. So we'll get into the other positions as well.
That's right. That's right. Lots to get into. Plenty to cover. The NBA offseason. Greater than sign every other sports offseason.
That's it. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you guys so much.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. Till next time. See ya and stay safe.